Well, the second game should be a beauty. West Adelaide playing the Tigers, of course, from West Adelaide's point of view, a number of players there, and I believe that young Darren Barch won't play for the Blokes, and that's an enormous blow tonight, Kim.
It certainly is. I think that'd be a huge disappointment to West Adelaide supporters and Kevin Morris and obviously Darren Barch himself. But they're going to struggle in the big man division. The only person I can see as possibly rucking would be perhaps Miller, who's done the job before. You know, it was a late withdrawal, so we haven't had time to really study the side, Ken, but off the top of my head, I would say that Miller would have to assume the ruck duties, and he's certainly going to giving away a humongous amount of inches to players like Christie and Melican.
Would you play David Toomey at centre-half forward? Because in previous years, the Bloods really haven't had somebody up forward that can control the game, Kim.
It's unfortunate he's had that groin injury and a few other niggling injuries over the last few seasons, but Toomey, to me, if West Adelaide would be a force, he's got to play at centre-half forward, and he's got to play a very key, well, he's got to be a key player up there.
Yes, I agree with that, and of course, Kevin Morris, their coach, would be pretty anxious to kick off on the winning note tonight. He coached West Adelaide last year to 8th position, and they came home with a wet sail last year, Westies.
They certainly did, and it's a big feather in Kevin Morris's cap that he can have the admiration of all of his players. I don't think I've ever heard a coach so highly praised by his players. They either have a huge respect for him or they're damn desperate to get a game.
OK, the Tigers, of course, a number of new faces in the Glenelg side this year with retirement and all those sorts of things, injuries, so it virtually is a new-look side, Tim, isn't it?
It is, and there's a few players in there, Ken, that I've been really waiting to see. Players like Dean, young Thompson on the wing. They've showed ability in the reserves for a long time, and it's going to be great to have a real close look at them tonight.
Yeah, they can play some very exciting players there, of course. Brett Dean's a fantastic player, really is, and of course, on the interchange bench, we've got some new players there, and Bo Miller, Hallahan, the boy from Shepparton, and young Jamison. He can really play. I've seen this kid play in practice games, and he's got great skill, Kim, he really has.
I've heard some big raps for Jamison, and also Peter Carey had some big raps for young Bo, the lad from Broken Hill. Yep. One that interests me, Kenny, is that Ross Gibbs is acting captain tonight. Did that surprise you?
He couldn't make the side last year. He's gone from out of the side to captain. Gee whiz there. Of course, Graham Cause, what a great coaching record, Kim.
Incredible record. Took South Adelaide to 5th. That was the last time they competed in the finals, and then the record at Glenelg speaks for itself. It's sensational. It really is. He's been well, he's made himself a real legend in South Australia, not only for the Glenelg, but with his state coaching performances as well.
Yeah, he certainly has, and of course, a man who knows all about his football is Mr. 1 to 10, Graham Campbell. Graham, your thoughts on the game and who you're going for?
Well, thanks, Ken. Down here at ground level, I've got to admit, it's magnificent. What a night for football, and Kevin Morris just going past me now. A confident coach, I would think. I daren't ask him, though. Who do I think will win? I think West Adelaide. Given the fact that last year they were the only side to beat Glenelg at the Bay, in case you don't recall, Ken and Kim. The only side to do it. They were the only side, and I think they can do it again tonight, not by a lot. You say I missed a 1 to 10. I'll sit on the fence and say West Adelaide by 1 to 10.
Gee, Graham, it's virtually a new-look Glenelg side, isn't it? Virtually.
Oh, it is. I don't know half the guys. That's saying something. Seeing I coached the club, what? I hate to say it, 5 years ago now. But, you know, there are a few guys still left that I coached. Tony Simons, for one, comes to mind. But, yes, a lot of new people around the place. I think the big fella will play at full forward, the guy that missed out in the finals last year.
Melican.
Chris Melican is the obvious walk-up starter full forward. And certainly he offers an alternative to what they had last year. Max Cruz is not playing tonight, I don't think. He's a guy that I'm looking for a spot in one of the key positions as the season progresses. But the Bays, maybe a little scratchy early, and West Adelaide have had a game under some conditions against Central District, I think, at Richmond Oval a few Thursday nights ago, and that might stand them in good stead for a bit of a spirited contest tonight. Whatever way you look at it, Ken, there won't be much in it. But winners are traditionally hard to find at this stage of the year. OK, we all picked Port in the last game, but they fell over the line in comparison to what you thought they might win by. Something like 5 goals won they got up in the finish by, but one would have thought before the match a 10-goal job would have been on.
Graham, when you say you're at ground level, does that mean you've got short legs?
I don't know how I look on TV out there, Kim, but...
Very short.
Yeah, but it is great down here. I wish I could stay the whole night and sink in the atmosphere, but I've got to get upstairs so I can watch the game objectively. I'm a great believer in watching the game from an elevated position, fellas. I don't know how Graham Corns and coaches who sit at ground level really read the game properly.
Well, Graham Corns has done it successfully. Graham, you're down there on the ground. What's it like down there? That breeze is favouring the northern end. Is it very strong? Does it give the players much respite at all?
Kim, I should have mentioned that. It's not a strong breeze whatsoever. As far as respite goes for the heat, yes, a slight respite there, but as far as kicking goals either end of the ground, there should be no problem whatsoever. And we saw South storm the Bastille in the last quarter and kick something like 6 goals with the so-called breeze. But I believe, really, in my heart of hearts, it's not a big advantage either end of the ground.
Thank you, Graham. That's Mr. 1 to 10. Graham Campbell on the boundary. He loves his footy, Kimbo, doesn't he?
He is the greatest character I've ever met. He's unbelievable.
He is. He's unbelievable. Kim, how do you see the game?
I think it'll be good. As I say, I think Glenelg just have such a strong advantage in ruck, and I think that may tell the tale in the end.
Yeah, it's sad that young Darren Barch is not playing because he's such an exciting player, Kim, isn't he?
Exactly. Well, he really took the ruck duties away from young Shane Malcolm, who has gone back to Victoria. And I thought Malcolm had a future, but he just couldn't get everything together. And Darren Barch took over last year, did the job well, and you know, as long as he doesn't get the second-year blues, he really should be the answer for the Bloods.
And it would appear as though young Damien Murray may, in fact, start in the ruck for West Adelaide, Kim. So we're keen to see how the young bloke goes.
Well, it's an opportunity for him, isn't it? And as I said before, I think he will get a little bit of relief from Stephen Miller, but you know, many things happen. Like this could be the start of a big career for him. Yeah, and likewise, we'll see some exciting new faces in the Bay team, and I really can't wait for what should be and will be a great game of football. OK, joining Kim Dillon, yours truly, in the commentary box, of course, is that former Port Adelaide star, the little fella, Bucky Cunningham.
Let's go. Umpire's got the ball. Bounce down in the centre. Quite rightly, KG. Damien Murray contesting up against Gary Christie. Murray gets the tap down, and it goes. Picked up, and away they come through Marshall. The handball out towards Chigwidden was good. Across they go, and it's Lyndon Bowe up toward the full forward area, and I think that one's dribbled through. It has. Oh, golly, a goal in the first 19 seconds of this first quarter, and Lyndon Bowe was the player for Glenelg who scored. Scored one goal to Glenelg. West Adelaide, no score on the ball.
Gee, a great start, Brian, a great start there by the Bays. That'll no doubt give them a great deal of confidence, and they certainly moved that ball out of the centre square with a great deal of ease. And now, can West Adelaide come back? That's the big $64 question. Can the Bloods answer? Beautiful night here, so far as the spectators are concerned. The players rather warm. West Adelaide get the tap away. Chance on that occasion for number 17, Duthie of the Bays, trying to get it out. Chance now for Laube. I'll knock the ball away up towards full forward. But back there taking the mark for the Bays is Neville Smith. Smith from the back pocket towards centre wing, looking for Christie. Up he goes. Will the mark be paid? Yes, it will be. On the defensive side of centre. Oh, it's Christie, the former South Adelaide star. Up towards centre wing they go, off hands. Pushed out of bounds on that occasion. The boundary umpire will throw the ball into play. That was Paul Nichols, number 32 of West Adelaide, who pushed the ball out of play.
James West to do the ruck work as opposed to the youngster in Damien Murray. The ball comes to ground, solid work. In there is Nicholas Chigwidden. The free kick will go the way of Merv Harbinson. Harbinson's kick towards centre half forward. In there leading is Miller. Oh, strong mark from behind to Seabohm, lining up at centre half back. Familiar position for Seabohm as he kicks to the outer side, looking for Marshall. Oh, good strong work there, and the mark's been taken by Philip Bays. Well, he outmanoeuvred Marshall then, and Marshall certainly has a wealth of experience. The fist from behind, down towards Filkey. He tried to punch the ball forward. Now Miller looking for a free kick. He applies the tackle there towards West. But umpire Abbott won't get involved with that, and it'll be a bounce once more. 2 minutes gone. Glenelg 1 goal. West Adelaide yet to score.
Christie up in ruck, nothing decisive. Chigwidden working hard in there. Filkey's got the ball for West Adelaide. It's centre half forward, lifts the eyes, looks out toward the forward pocket area. The umpire's seen an infringement. It's a free kick, and it's going to West Adelaide. Is it Jeff James? He's got the ball, tackled without it, it seems, and he's lining up from about 30 metres out. Well, Chris Duthie, the offending player, didn't seem to be a lot in it, but Jeff James lining up from 30 metres, almost directly in front. West Adelaide's first score drags the ball a little across the face of goal, and a minor score. Westies are on the board, 1 point, but trailing Glenelg 1 goal.
Yes, and we're 3 minutes into the first term. Smith for the Bays to kick the ball back into play. Goes to the outer side with a lovely kick. Looking for Christie once again. He's in front. The ball thumped away. The Bays coming out of defence up towards centre wing. Looking for James West. He can't take the mark. The ball now with Mansell. A hurry kick towards centre half forward. Melican can't grab the football. West Adelaide coming out through Miller. Doing it well. Filkey with the football now at half back. Good use of the ball. Lines on that occasion for West Adelaide. Robbie McKinnon breaks away, uses his pace. Up towards full forward they go. To all the Bays back here. Smith. Tackle with the football. Which way will the free kick go? Holding the ball. Gee whiz. And it's Shane Fitzsimmons, number 34, to take the relieving free kick for the Bloods. Tucked away in the pocket. Kicks towards goal. Wait on the goal umpire. I think he's pulled it. He has. Just scraped the post, and West Adelaide have 2 points on the board. Glenelg, 1 straight goal. And we've played something like 4 minutes into the first term.
Ross Gibbs, Glenelg veteran, former WA player and acting captain tonight. Passes the ball out short. It's safe. He finds McTavish. McTavish turns onto that characteristic left boot. Drives it long. Got good depth with that kick. Strong work by Thompson opposed to McKinnon. But the boundary line wins out on that outer side. Well, Brian, we have a look at the Rovers for both sides. You look at a guy like Nick Chigwidden, and he'd be a player you'd expect to develop this year.
I saw him a year ago, that's right, and he looked to be a good young player and evidently had a reasonable season last year. Well, now going forward, down towards centre-half forward. No marks taken. Out of defence they come. Toomey, the handball away. Comes back towards Burgess. Over the top of the ball. Gets the handball wide now. Looking for Cordy. Cordy short. Finds McKinnon or Filkey. Filkey across. The handball towards Nichols. Nichols down towards centre-half forward. Oh, there's an infringement. Pretty obvious one. Umpire right on the spot. And West Adelaide, even though they've gone forward, they've got to come back and kick behind the mark. Is the infringement in front. Clayton Lamb from behind. Dennis Russell. And Lamb with the ball about 55 metres out from goal. Normally a very good kick. Strong kick. And he comes. Not quite the distance. Up they go in the full forward area. Offhands it comes. It's still in play. Well, it was going through. Picked up and kicked away by Chigwidden. Working hard over the top. It's out of bounds in the forward pocket area of West Adelaide.
Yes, West Adelaide doing most of the attacking, but can't get a major on the board in the opening moments of this first quarter. Stephen Miller will do the ruck work in the forward area. Christie taps it away. Taken by Chigwidden. Back to Christie. There's a chance for West Adelaide. Filkey having a good quarter so far. Hooks it up. High, wide and handsome. Up towards full forward it goes. The mark, has it been paid? Yes, it has been paid. And the mark has been paid back there to Dennis Russell. Also coaching the Glenelg reserves this year, so he's got a big job on his hands. But a very good coach, Dennis Russell. From Port Augusta originally. Back to centre wing it goes, off hands. Christie. Gutsy performance by Scotty Salisbury. Over to Marshall. Centre wing, blazes away, doesn't look. Looking for James West, who will use the body. Pure strength on that occasion by big James West. Takes the mark, flanked by Maynard. Socks down tonight. The centre half forward, Melican in front. Good defensive work on that occasion by Cordy. The loose football. West Adelaide with a chance now. Back towards centre wing. And a fine mark has been taken here to West Adelaide. And it Bayes, Philip Bayes at centre wing. New boy for the Bloods. Oh, put it beautifully too, straight to Filkey. That was well done, young man. Filkey in towards full forward. Beautiful pass. That's great football, West Adelaide. And Clayton Lamb. That's excellent work by the Bloods. Now Clayton Lamb with a chance going towards the lake end. Chance to put a major on the board. Normally a very accurate kick for goal. Well, you give him a rap and look what happens. 3 points to the Bloods. Glenelg 1 straight goal. 7.5 minutes into the first quarter on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Well, the Bloods are looking pretty sharp. Filkey's in good touch, and that was a great lead by Clayton Lamb. And Filkey would want to be on a bit of a high tonight. His wife was just named captain of the Australian netball team, formerly Michelle Den-Decker. So a great sporting couple as the ball goes to the outer side, working his way through McTavish. He finished off the 88 season in grand style last year. There'll be a throw in on that outer side. 7 minutes gone, nearly 8 minutes. West Adelaide 3 behinds, Glenelg 1 straight goal. Seabohm from behind, he tried to grab that, couldn't do so. The clearing kick goes about 15 metres out towards Russell. He uses Gibbs. Gibbs casually as ever, he'll never change that style. Over the top towards Duthie. Duthie looking very brown and fit, puts it out towards Maynard, playing with his socks down. Acting vice-captain, so Gibbs is captain, Maynard vice-captain. Who would have picked that? The handball goes back towards Duthie. His kick is long, one-on-one. Melican opposed to Patterson. Great spoil, Patterson. The ball comes to ground. Players trying to tap it out. That's what the umpires want him to do, and he blew the whistle. Umpire Mark Mackey officiating with Michael Abbott. 8.5 minutes gone. Melican to do the ruck work. The ball comes down to Chigwidden. Couldn't get the kick. Oh, there's a big kick off the ground. And no free kick picked out.
So it's 3 points the difference, the 9-minute mark in the goal square. Chance for Glenelg, Nick Chigwidden, right on the bottom of the pack. Up they go. Tap back by Melican, looking for Chigwidden. Thumped through, and that's a minor score. The thumper was David Toomey for West Adelaide. Glenelg 1-1. West Adelaide 3 points. The kick in from full-back. 4 players had time to assemble, and that's straight into the arms of a Glenelg player out there, and no trouble for Lyndon Bowe, the scorer of the first goal for the Bays, to take an easy mark. He's looking for a lead up forward. Melican offers that over the back of the pack. Toomey, too strong in defence. Melican misread that one. The handball out by Toomey. Series of handballs. Belton, across they go. Winter, the kick down towards centre wing. The tap away favoured West Adelaide. The bounce through that half-forward area. It's Larkin as he spins around, kicks toward the full-forward area. Dennis Russell leading in the race for the ball for the Bays. He's got it, but he's collared, and he's put it through for a minor score. Probably sensible under the circumstances. So 10 minutes into this first quarter.
Yes, and the Bloods moved that ball beautifully out of defence, but it was just the finishing off part that's letting the Bloods down at the moment. The kick-off goes out wide. That's Robbie Thompson. Useful cricketer, Robbie Thompson, as well as a footballer. Kicks up towards centre wing with a high kick. Looking out there for West, off hands to Scotty Salisbury. Then loses possession. Good work by West Adelaide. A chance now for Larkin again. He with the football at half forward. A high kick up towards full forward. Russell in front. Miller with him. Ball to ground. Working hard there is Smith for the Bays. Overruns the football but gets it out. Gibbs now. Mr. Cool. Wobbles a kick across. McTavish. Over the top. A chance for the Bays. Seabone. Oh, open paddock here. Looking at here, this occasion, Marshall. But good defensive work by the Bloods. Dumps the ball away. The ball goes out of bounds. Philip Bays did it well on that occasion. Grandstand side. Good stick opening. Both sides, up they go. Marshall. Smothered by McKinnon was good football. Then tries to crash the back. Does so cleverly. Then a long kick up towards full forward. The West Adelaide player has to sit Clayton Lamb. Drops a mark he perhaps should have taken. But good defensive work by the Bays. Coming out. Smith again. Out wide. Bowe again. Starting well for the Bays. Up towards centre they go, the Tigers. Pack form, stumped away. Out wide to Harbison. Good running play by Nichols. Nichols up towards full forward. Again a chance for West Adelaide. There is Russell. Off hands again. Gibbs. Gee whiz, they're solid in defence, the Bays. Has his second bounce. Tucks the ball under his arm. Comes towards grandstand side. And he finds McTavish. McTavish marks on the defensive side of centre.
Well, the defence of the Bays is holding up well as McTavish drives that ball in. It's a poor kick. He picked out Chigwidden. And there's some strong work by James West. It was high and it's on. McKinnon grabs him. In there is Toomey. Well, that one just fizzled out, but I tell you what, with McKinnon and Toomey there, anything could have happened. And James West, that was a very crude tackle.
Oh, Tickets was looking for something there, and it was a crude tackle. Kim, you're right, but Tickets said something to James, and they aren't pleasant words. You can take my word for that.
He's taken his number, Ken. Umpire Mark Mackey has just spun around James West. So it will be very interesting to see what happens over the next few days. Nevertheless, it's Paul Belton with a spiral screw punt. In there was Christie, took front position. The handball comes out towards Mansell, out towards Gibbs, picking up plenty of touches. He goes across ground there looking for Simons. Simons picks it up neatly. He should get around Winter pretty easily. He's very skillful, Tony Simons, but don't underestimate the courage of Winter, the determination. Now the ball back into attack for the Bloods. Oh, Clayton Lamb straight into the back. So things just warming up here as Seabohm takes the free kick and puts it out towards Mansell.
It's heavy work there. Mansell's got it now. Free on centre wing as he goes forward. Left boot kick, not good. Gets a bit of distance. Harbinson's there to relieve the pressure for West Adelaide. Back toward the centre wing. In there, Mansell over the top of the ball again. Now has got it. Kick is smothered. Very productive work up forward there by the Bays just in this small passage of play. Over the top of the ball, working hard, was Burgess. Couldn't get it out. And the umpire will bounce. 13.5 minutes into the first quarter. Glenelg 1-1-7. 3 points in advance of West Adelaide, 4 points. Belton trying to get it out. High kick. Brave work by Filkey. The handball out towards Gibbs. Harbinson's there. Gibbs is clever. Gets it back. A chance for McTavish now. around the body. Up they go, the ball off hands, but pretty well stifled in there. Eventually, Chigwidden, can he get it out? He can't. Larkins can. Away come West Adelaide now, and the left foot kick down towards centre half forward. Up they go. The spoil comes off hands. Doofy, nice work, quick hands. And across they come. The run provided, and the Bays go forward, down towards half forward. Plenty of players there to use. Scott Salisbury by himself. Loves a shot at the goal. He's well offline, and 1 point only the score for the Bays.
Yeah, it's a poor kick by Scotty Salisbury. He had time to steady, raise the eyes. No breeze here at headquarters, and he should have goaled that. He should have barreled that, Scotty Salisbury, but not equal to the task. And he let West Adelaide off the hook there. Gee whiz, I wouldn't like to be playing up forward for both respective sides tonight. The kicking of the forwards is very ordinary indeed. Patterson kicks off. Over the top of the pack. Ball again. Christie throws it out to Chigwidden. A chance now for the Bays. Up towards full forward it goes. This could be a beauty. It is. Straight to the middle. That's the goal of the Bays. They go to 2-2-14. West Adelaide, 4 points.
Well, 16 minutes have transpired in this first term, and only 2 goals that have been scored have been kicked by Lyndon Bowe, the newcomer from Broken Hill for the Tigers. And it's the Tigers once more into attack. West doing the strong body work, but the mark's taken by Patterson. The handle out to Bill. No, he put him under the hammer, something chronic then. Now it's tapped out towards Larkins, in turn out towards Harbinson. Now they have some space. It's an awkward bounce, being urged on by Bay. Tries to drive long. It's a rather ungainly looking kick, and ill-directed as well. And eventually, and luckily for the Bloods, the ball goes out of play on the left forward flank.
Gee, who was that kick going to, Bucky, on that occasion? It was just blazing.
Well, he just didn't look, Ken. He just didn't look. He'll raise the eyes and have a look what's up forward. But here's a chance now as McKinnon kicks up toward the full forward area. Back there is Lamb, grabs it off hands, toward the goal he goes, and he's popped it through. So West Adelaide have their goal now. They're first on the board. They go to 1-4. Glenelg got 2 goals too.
Welcome back to Monday night live football on Nine's Wide World of Sports. The Tigers 2-3-15, West 1-4-10. The free kick with Marshall. Marshall up towards centre half forward it goes. Up goes one hand from Tickets to me. He can't take the mark. Scrambling football at the moment, tapped out. A chance for West Adelaide. McKinnon over that occasion to Cordy. Cordy to centre wing. A chance now for Philip Bayes. Can he break the tackle? Great tackle by Marshall. Super effort by David Marshall. And the ball goes out of play. That's experience for you, Kimbo.
Well, Ken, it was a great tackle, and it was good umpiring too, because in the earlier game we saw that type of umpiring and the player being penalised, and I thought that was good. The player had a chance, and so did the tackler. In there working hard once more is Larkins. Bay standing there, the newcomer for the Bloods. Picked up a few touches. 18 minutes gone in this first term. West Adelaide 10 points, Glenelg 15 points. 5 scoring shots apiece. It's been interesting football. Melican having a run on the ball, put that right down the throat of Chigwidden, and the ball now comes out towards Brett Dean. Oh, Roy Higgins hopped on his back then for a while, and gee whiz, that's holding the ball. Well, work that one out. Filkey, nevertheless, over the Bays. He's under pressure, hooks it around his body. That's well done by the youngster. Now out towards the forward pocket. The ball works its way over the boundary line in that left forward pocket.
19 minutes into this first quarter. West Adelaide 1-4, Glenelg 2-3. 5 points the difference. Boundary throw-in. Melican up, tap down. Pack of players in there. Simmons trying to get it out. Again, the umpire's no alternative but to bounce the ball. It's about 40 metres out from that goal.
Kicking up forward hasn't been good, Bucky, has it?
No, it's under pressure, Ken. It's the first game of the year. And players are trying to get on top of it. You can see it there. A pack of players now, all trying to get the ball, all eager and keen.
Brian, in your illustrious career, you always were roving to good ruckman.
What was that word?
Don't make me say it again. But in a situation like this, where Glenelg once more are clearly dominating the ruck duels, what approach should the West Adelaide small men take?
Well, I think they have to, and I think you can see it happening. They're man-to-man out there. They're trying to work the ball away as best they can from the hand. And it's obviously stifling the Glenelg forward movement. Still in that forward pocket area. Picked up now by Fitzsimmons. The short kick. And a lucky one too, but nevertheless a chance at goal for Westies now as it's marked by Jeff James. James is only 15 or 20 metres out, as you can see on your screen. And he comes left boot at it. The umpire's getting underneath, and he reckons that's just his side of the post. 1 point only the score. West Adelaide poor kicking in this first quarter, 1-5. Glenelg 2 goals 3.
Yes, poor kicking. You're right there, Brian, and They had a number of golden opportunities, but their kicking up towards their forwards has been very, very ordinary tonight. This man's played exceedingly well in this first quarter. Ross Gibbs kicks off, finds Melican with a beautiful pass in the back pocket. His trial form has been outstanding, Melican. I've seen him on 2 or 3 occasions. He's really dominated the rucks. Oh, great mark by Maynard. Did he play on? No, he didn't, according to the umpire. Now he does. And there's the end of the first quarter. Here in the Foundation Cup, the second game tonight. Glenelg 2 goals, 3-15. Lead the Bloods, 1-5-11 on 9's Wide World of Sports. Gee whiz, and there was the nasty one to Paul Belton, and I believe that James West has in fact been reported in that incident. Toomey coming in, also Chig Widner there, Maynard, and Paul Belton the worst for wear. Umpire Mark Mackey taking the number there. The score at the end of the first quarter, the Tigers 2-3-15, West Adelaide 1-5, and Graham Campbell, a scrappy game, kicking to the forwards, very, very ordinary.
Well, yes, Ken, that's one of the, I guess, the signs of early season nervousness. Clayton Lamb of full forwards intrigued me. He could have kicked 3 or 4 in that first quarter, quite frankly. Just didn't quite hold the marks, didn't quite tie up his work. But he is a central point, or a focal point, if you like, down there. And yes, it was a rather untidy tackle by Jim West on Paul Belton, but nonetheless, they're getting rid of some early season steam, Ken, and that happens from time to time, doesn't it?
Graham, I think Kevin Morris will be fairly disappointed because that northern end, even though you say the breeze is not that strong, has proved to be the scoring end, and West Adelaide certainly had plenty of opportunities.
There's no question they had more play than the Bays. The Bays finished with their work better. That boy in the wing, fancy a new chum kicking the first 2 goals for the Bays tonight in that bow from Broken Hill. Top effort by him, and they certainly have had their moments. The boy in the centre I like too for West Adelaide, Bays, is it? He's playing in the middle on David Marshall. They both had their fair share of the ball, and there's some intriguing encounters coming up, I feel, in these last 3 quarters.
And Graham, we've seen so far in these night games, coaches wearing these different style shorts, and Kevin Morris, like Mick Noonan and also Neil Kelly joining in the throng of things there.
Well, I sincerely hope that he didn't have baked beans for tea tonight.
I would never have done that, Ken, in my day.
Not with legs like yours, Graham.
Would have covered up your feet.
My legs are rather white these days, but no, I believe that, well, the coaches have got to feel, if you like, free and easy in their movement. That's what Kevin Morris is doing tonight.
Kim,
back to you, Ken.
Thanks, Graham. Kim, how did you see the ruck duel so far?
I think Glenelg are clearly winning the ruck duels, and as I mentioned to Brian, it's got to the stage now where the West Adelaide Rovers now have to ruck to the Glenelg big men in Melican and Tony Christie. So whether Miller can do the job, but he's conceding many inches.
Yeah, what about the actual centre line duels? Have you seen that tonight?
I thought Filkey picked up some good touches early, and McKinnon's working hard. Marshall's had a few touches, so it's fairly evenly balanced. No one's really established any clear winners yet, so there's a long way to go in this game, and this second quarter may tell the story. OK, let's take you back now to our commentary spot and our caller, Brian Cunningham.
Start of the second quarter now. Players in position. 4 points the difference in favour of the Bays, and there to use whatever breeze there is here at Football Park in this second quarter. Players ready. Christie in ruck. Up against Murray for West Adelaide, the newcomer. Gary Christie, an old-timer, gets that tap down towards Harbinson, though. In there over the top of the ball. Chig Widden now picks it up. Good hands as he gets it out towards Maynard. Maynard's got the run of it. Nice work there, though, as Burgess comes away. Taps the ball toward the boundary line. A couple of desperate players there. Burgess and also Scott Salisbury, and the ball out of bounds. It's on the right half forward flank as far as Glenelg are concerned.
Yes, Burgess' pre-season form has been outstanding for West Adelaide. I've seen him on a couple of occasions. It's a hurry kick away. Chance now for West Adelaide trying to crash the pack. Harbison in there, he's unloaded. West in there, number 40. Gets it out. A chance now for Brett Dean working hard, the boy from Robe. Chance for Chig Widden now, the long handball. Up towards full forward, the kick goes. Oh, good strong mark on that occasion by Melican. Big frame. Up went the arms and a big grab by Melican. And he should convert from here. He's no more than about 20 metres from goal. Look at the big frame going in front. Over the top, of course, went Paul Patterson. Melican directly in front, straight to the middle. The Bays, an early goal. 3-3-21. The Bloods 1-5-11.
Big Damien Murray lifting his work rate there as he took that ball out of the centre square. Now it comes out towards James. He paddles the ball forward. That was good work. Oh, over the top of that there is young Fitzsimmons. He couldn't take it. In fact, he was bundled out of it, and it'll be Michael Abbott to bounce on that right forward flank.
He took his eyes off the ball at the critical stage then, Kim.
Well, it's like golf, Kenny. You can't afford to do that. Christie, over the top was Miller, down towards Chigwidden, starting to have a little bit of an influence in this game. Out towards the big chap in Cordy there, the recruit for West Adelaide. Now out coming through solidly is Doothy. Gee, he even looks blonder this year. Some of these players are hard to pick up with their new hairdos. Now it goes out to Maynard, playing with his socks down. That's obviously due to the heat. Meeting the ball solidly there was Winter. Chigwidden in there at the bottom of the pack. Players trying desperately to knock the ball out. That's good because it opens up the game. Larkins now in turn over towards Bays. Bays with a wobbly kick and a misdirected kick, and it goes straight to Dennis Russell.
Well, I have been impressed with Bays, but not his kicking. He gets the ball, but he's got to watch where he kicks it. Dennis Russell's kick back toward the centre of the ground. Here's a chance for the Bays. Nice work there as Thompson gets the handball across towards the ever-casual Gibbs. Mansell's got it now. Centre half forward. The kick's well offline. An atrocious kick from that position. Had no one within 10 or 15 metres of him as he kicked the ball and should have scored a goal.
I'm amazed, Brian, conditions like they are tonight, the kick has been poor by both sides.
It wasn't so poor in the early game, but maybe they're just first game nerves, Ken, as the kick out from that back pocket position. West Adelaide half-back flank position, picked up the handball away, stifled in there over the top of the ball is Larkins as he breaks away now. Has a bounce, gets the handball out wide. He's got the player in Bays. Good play. That's a better kick as he goes forward. No infringement paid by the umpire there. Nice work. Oh, lovely work by McKinnon. Ducks the head, kicks the ball back toward the full forward area. The bounce is just a little offline, and 1 point only the score.
Gee, he's a goer, Robbie McKinnon. He doesn't lack any heart and any courage. He puts his head down and backside up and straight to the packs he goes. Kicks off by Gibbs. Beautifully put to McTavish. I'm impressed with this bloke. I reckon he can play, McTavish. Kick number 6. Unlucky to miss out on the spot in the grand final last year. Up they go, thumped away from buy tickets to me. Looks a lot fitter this year, tickets. Been carrying a groin injury over the past couple of seasons, but suntan, brown, short haircut. Lost plenty of weight. Him and West having a nice old ding-dong behind play, but they're big enough and strong enough to go for themselves. This is Larkins. Playing well for West Adelaide. Up towards centre half forward. Oh, up they go, Gibbs. He missed a call. Over the top to Russell. Hasn't even raised the sweat yet, Gibbsy. Marshall. Bays, beautifully done by the youngster. Good stuff. That's better. That's kick number 7 by young Bays. And he put that to Fitzsimmons superbly. Finishing his game off. That's a shocking kick to Larkins. Puts him under the hammer, but good enough to get out of it. Now he should drill this. Has he drilled it? He has. What a goal to the Bloods. Magnificent stuff.
Mansell took that ball out of the centre. Now the handball goes back out towards Cordy. Cordy drives straight down the middle of the ground. It's a nice looking kick, and once more in there is Ross Gibbs. He's an absolute delight to watch. As casual as you like, he arcs around, he puts the ball out towards Doothy. Working well together, Doothy and Gibbs. He drives it in long, and back there taking the mark is Burgess. Burgess with the quick handball. It comes out towards Winter. He kicks wide and finds Harvinson. Oh, there's a paddock. There's a loose player up on the wing in McKinnon. The ball goes out to that player. McKinnon stands his ground. Christie made up valuable meterage. And look at McKinnon. He's off. Gee, looks fit. Weaves between two players. Great play, Robin McKinnon. Over to Cordy, and his kick goes straight to Ross Gibbs. And how many kicks does he pick up like that?
Well, gee, they ought to watch their kicking, West Adelaide. Everything was right until that last kick, and Glenelg the easy way out. Oh, lovely mark out there. Great mark on half-forward flank. West Adelaide, it's Bays again. Impressive player in this first quarter and a bit. There he is at half-forward. Left footer as he goes in. The pack sets itself up. They go. Christie's there. Off hands the handball away. Comes towards Seabohm. The short pass back into the centre. Salisbury doesn't know where to go. Eventually the handball's long. Oh, not a good one. Still a chance for the Bays, though. Oh, heavy body work there. The umpire reckons that was unfair. And West Adelaide are going to get a free kick in the centre of the ground. Harbinson it may well be, or is it Bays? Waiting for the ball to come back. West Adelaide at 2-6-18. Glenelg at 3-3-21. 7 minutes now. Free kick, in fact, went to McTavish as he kicked it forward. Again, stifled in defence. They come away. McKinnon the handball. A fumble. Across it comes towards Harbinson now. He's got to get rid of the ball quickly. Tackled as he kicks. Down toward the half-forward area. Clayton Lamb. Lovely work as he gets the handball across. Here's the chance at goal. And that's great. That's through the centre. James a goal. West Adelaide 3-6. Glenelg 3-3 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
New crumbed fish fillets with a touch of lemon.
So easy to oven fry.
Or new light wholemeal crumbed fish fillets.
Go on now, give them your best. From Bird's Eye.
Now Bird's Eye add 2 new treats to their fish range. Light wholemeal crumbed and fillets with a touch of lemon.
White and flaky, so juicy inside. Go on now, give them your best. From Bird's Eye, give them your best.
It's West Adelaide by 3 points here at Football Park. Free kick has been given to Chick Whitten of the Bays. Good game of footy now. West Adelaide come back and a 15-metre penalty kick. Chick Whitten up towards full forward. Up goes Malik and had the ride. Couldn't complete the mark. Dumped away. A chance for Belton. Into the back pocket. Will come across the goals. Chance for Tickets. Says, no, thank you very much. I'm going for the safety of the line. You can please yourself. Concedes a point. Now Patterson. So it's 2 points the difference. 3-6, 3-4. The Bloods in front. Patterson, the policeman, kicks off. Over the top of the pack. Umpire picking out a free kick there. Seabone's the player who'll cop it. I couldn't see what it was for, but the umpire could. He's a lot closer than we are tonight. Up towards full forward it goes. Oh, what a mark! Well, Nigel Mansell, as big as a flea, but didn't he get the ride? It was a beauty. Little Nigel. What a likeable character. Had to sit on the shoulders. Oh, and really grabbed it too. Oh, he's a character, this bloke. He loves his footy. Kick number 7. It's home. Glenelg 4-4-28. West Adelaide 3-6-24 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Well, that was sensational, Ken. It really was. Mansour, a little rover, should be scouting the packs, but he chanced his arm and up he went, and that was really a tremendous mark. And he showed his talent last year, and it looks like he's really going to build on that base. Tremendous, and that's a lesson for youngsters. His eyes never went away from the football.
4 points the difference now in favour of the Bays. 24 plays 28. Back in the centre. Bounce down. Up they go. Christie winning hands down in the middle. Chick Whitten couldn't control. And a pack of players form the umpire to bounce again. Almost 10 minutes now into this second quarter. Monday night football on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Up they go. Christie again, the tap down. Looking for, finding a Bay player. The handball out. Salisbury with the kick, goes towards centre half forward, bounces off the chest of Burgess. This gives Glenelg the chance. In there working over the top of the ball. The handball comes away now. The chance for McTavish. Onto the left boot he goes, long toward the goal front, but that's offline and through for a minor score. A further point to the Bays. 4-5, plays 3-6.
Gee, it's a good game of footy. 10.5 minutes into the second quarter. And we see the Tigers in front by 5 points. Oh, wobbly old kick-off by Patterson, goes straight to Christie. The kick was aimed at Nichols. It went straight to Christie and a free kick for shepherding. Well, I didn't pick it up, but the umpire right on the spot. Umpire Mick Abbott, last year's grand final umpire, and umpired extremely well last year. Towards the centre of the ground, read beautifully off hands by Nick Chick Whitten, handballs it out wide. Bays and Marshall. Gee, I like his determination of young Bays. Picked up by Robbie Thompson. Handballs towards the line. Chance for Larkins. Over the top. Run down that occasion. It's Porter, Simon Porter. He's been a very quiet player tonight. Salisbury to Thompson. Thompson goes short to James West. Good work on that occasion by the Bays. They persisted. West. The wobbly old kick back towards centre half forward. Burgess back there. Takes the relieving mark. Plays on quickly. Patterson is the running player out of defence. Centre winged. Gibbsy behind, just beautifully pushed him under the ball. I tell you what, fellas, Gibbsy's playing superb tonight, and he wants that captaincy on a regular basis, I can tell you.
Yeah, he's certainly not acting tonight, Ken, as the ball goes over the line, and who knows, no one would have expected Ross Gibbs to perhaps be the captain, with Peter Carey retiring and Chris McDermott, of course, out with that terrible knee injury, but responsibility can really do strange things to a player, and Ross Gibbs seems to be enjoying it as the handball goes over the top towards McTavish to wobbly screw punt kick. Oh, it clears the back of the pack. First there is Simons. Oh, he tapped that back brilliantly to Simons. Oh, in fact, to Salisbury. Oh, that was sensational. What a marvellous piece of football. And look at the smile over Scotty Salisbury's face. He had to kick that goal because he would have let Simons down terribly otherwise.
It was, Kimbo. It was a magnificent piece of play. There was no doubt that that was the last thing on most people's minds. We thought Tony Simons would have grabbed the ball, gone at the goal. We have a look at it here now. He could have grabbed it, but he knew the player was behind. Clever work. Took Peter Winter with him, and that was a nice dummy. Salisbury picked up and through the centre. Scott Salisbury loves the goals. Back in the centre now. Umpire to bounce. Up they go. In ruck. West Adelaide get the advantage, but Glenelg come away. Maynard, the kick down towards the half-forward area. Up they go. Belton's back there. Picks the ball up. Did it cleverly with his body. Now the handball wide. Burgess now with the kick toward the half-forward area. Ross gives cool underneath. The ball thumped away from behind. Out of bounds, right half-forward. Glenelg 5-5. West Adelaide at 3-6.
Yes, the Bays in front by 11 points. 13.5 minutes into the second quarter. The Foundation Cup include round 1 from Nine's Wide World of Sports. Seabone, one of the more experienced Bay players, coming over the top and thumps the ball out of play. It's a good movement by the Bays in this quarter. Christy Miller about to do battle. Big responsibility on the shoulders of Christy this year. The retirement of Peter Carey, they'll miss that player. Tapped it out beautifully to Maynard, Max Maynard, as he's known. Oh, strike me, Pete. Scott Salisbury with a boomer. Over to Chet Wedden. Chet Wedden beautifully to Tigers. That is champagne football from the Tigers. Scott Salisbury, a beauty it was. Tony Simons now. 45 metres from goal, directly in front. Look at Scotty Salisbury, the blonde hair, strong up it went. Great mark. But the action's with Tony Simons. The Lake End he goes, gets under it, will it carry? Straight to the middle it goes. The Bays, 6 goals, 5-41. Westies 3-6-24 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
SGIC car insurance. Yeah. All right. Show me. SGIC car insurance.
In this second quarter, Glenelg 41 points, the Bloods 24. As the handball goes out towards, oh, that was a great tackle by Salisbury. Now Maynard picks up the crumbs. He puts it over towards Robbie Thompson, who drives it in long. They're looking very good, the Tigers. Front position was Melican, couldn't take it. Chig Whitten into a brick wall. Back towards the big tap, Melican. He's a natural left footer, but he could knock that one back far enough. That goes through for a minor score. 42 points to 24, 15.5 minutes gone. The conditions are very warm here tonight, but the arena looks magnificent.
Well, the kick-in has to be taken again. Umpires decreed that the goal umpire hadn't finished waving his flags, and West Adelaide could have had an advantage there. So the ball will go back. The boundary umpire not prepared to kick it back. He's taken plenty of time.
Good quarter by the Bays, Bucky.
Well, it is. 6-6 plays 3-6. They've done well, the Bays, considering the kicking. With this slight breeze, it's not worth all that much. A goal or two, perhaps. Patterson now from fullback. Out towards the half-back flank. Up they go. The big fellas fly. Down to ground. Picked up nicely by McKinnon. Spinning around, looking for Harvinson. Uses the body well. Now he's got a chance, and Westies can set it up. Goes for a bounce. A bit of a luxury on that centre wing. Goes toward the half-forward area. Clayton Lamb pushed well out of position. And the marker's taken. It's given. Smith. He's the player who was pushing out Clayton Lamb, but he got the mark. The umpire paid as he goes back towards centre wing. A thump away toward the boundary line. In there is Burgess, carries it across and out of bounds. Pretty heavy body work there.
There's no harm done. Oh, McTavish didn't like it very much. McTavish, bit of byplay there.
Again, I don't think that was the military two-step that he did then.
It was the barn dance, I think. To hold hands. It's Christie, Miller with a tap on this occasion. Comes to Nichols. Been a quiet player. Back towards centre half forward. Marshall, flanked by Russell. Beautifully. Look at the vision of Marshall, should I say Russell, to Duthie. Duthie to Bowes. Dennis Russell covering plenty of ground, takes the hand pass and finds Brett Dean. It was good work by Dennis Russell, set that up beautifully. Brett Dean, the boy from Robe. Into the pocket, Simons with a chance over the pack. Tony Simons hooks the ball right across the face of goal. Only a minor score to the Bays. Golden opportunity for Tony Simons on that occasion. The Bays go to 6-7-43. West Adelaide 3-6-24. Almost 18 minutes gone in the second quarter of the Foundation Cup of 1989.
And you look at this Glenelg side, Ken, and they really have recruited well from the southeast. Players like Mansell, Melican, and the chap you just mentioned before in Dean, Brett Dean. So it's been a valuable recruiting ground for them as the ball goes back into attack. Back there is that player, Brett Dean, and I think Brett Dean's about to kick a goal because he's only 11 metres out. 18 minutes gone, 24 points, plays 43. The Tigers really have shown their superiority in their second term as Dean punches that one through. It was a nice goal. They now lead 49 points to 24.
Nice placement by Dean then. Got to the back of the pack and knew exactly where it was going. Marshall's got the ball here in the replay as we watch. Kicks it over the back and in good position. Good reading of the ball. The mark was a simple one in the end, but well played. We see it again to the West Adelaide backman, caught well out of position. And there's no problem in scoring a goal for the young fellow there. 7-7-49. Glenelg West at 3-6-24.
Down goes the bounce. Umpire Mark Mackey. Murray up high. Did it well. Harbison taken by Maynard. Away the Bays go again. Max Maynard up towards full forward. Thumped from behind by Christie. Ball to ground. A chance for Dean again. Taps it out beautifully. Chick Whitten. That was great work by Dean. Chick Whitten. Oh! Bumped it off the ball superbly by Belton. Recovers. Christie. Back to Scotty Salisbury. A chance for the Bays. Scotty Salisbury hooks it back towards full forward. But back there, a timely mark has been taken by Winter. Over to Fitzsimmons of West Adelaide. He tried to draw the player. Goes on this occasion to Cordy. Cordy out wide, looking out there for Larkins and finds that player on the half-back flank. Good defensive work on that occasion by the Bloods. Fitzsimmons covered a bit of ground but did it well. Found the open space. To half forward he goes. Good work there by Seabone, using his body and thumped the ball out of play.
And Kenny, Kevin Morris has made a move. He's brought Kevin Hurd onto the ground at the expense of Simon Porter. So Kevin Morris trying to instill some enthusiasm and some life into his side as they're starting to sag rather badly. 3-6 to 7-7. A minute before time on in this quarter, the ball goes back towards James West. Had some unbelievable games at centre-half forward late last season, hitting goals in a very quick space of time. Simons with the football once more. He's been very elusive up forward, and that pass is very good to Christie. Gary Christie, former South Adelaide player. Wouldn't be all that confident of him kicking a goal from this position. Rather acute angle. Kicking into the breeze, what breeze there is. Big man with the approach, dropped it nicely. And in fact, I think he's kicked it. So a magnificent kick by Gary Christie to move the Tigers on to 8 goals, 7-55, leading West Adelaide 3-6-24. And Brian, they appear to be in a bit of trouble.
Well, Westies are in strife, and Glenelg doing it well, getting it out of the centre. They've done it well all quarter, and that kick from that forward pocket area, a lovely one by Christie. And there goes the siren to end the second quarter. Glenelg's quarter, 8 goals, 7-55 the Bays. West Adelaide at 3-6-24 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Welcome back to Football Park at half-time. You see the Tigers there with a good lead. 8 goals, 7-55. They booted 6 goals, 4 in that second term to West Adelaide, 3-6-24. A great second quarter by the Bays, the main goal kickers. Firstly for the Tigers, Bow 2, Mansell, Melican, Simons, Dean and Christie 1. And for West Adelaide, Kimbo?
West Adelaide, Lamb kicked 1. He's looked dangerous, but he's only managed the 1 goal. Larkins 1 and James 1 as well.
Certainly was a great quarter by the Bays in that second term. Kim, they played superbly.
It really was. We mentioned the dominance of the big men in the first quarter, and then the little men came into the game, and that was obviously because of the big man dominance.
Yes.
But players like Mansell, what a mark that was.
Unbelievable.
It certainly tested your throat out, but it was a great mark, and even Scotty Salisbury.
Yes, and the marks there by Scotty Salisbury was fantastic, and I thought Simons also had a good second quarter.
It was, and well, he did. It was a very good. I'm absolutely thrown here, Ken.
quarter.
It was a great quarter. I think we've got to talk about Woomera.
Well, we do, because Torrens plays third at Woomera on Saturday night. And, of course, from Channel 9, Mike Sexton made the trip to make this report.
Woomera is best known for its rocket launches of the 50s and 60s, a time when 6,000 people lived in the far north town. Since then, the population has shrunk to 2,000, and the town is mainly used as a support base for Americans working at the nearby Narunga base. So Woomera is not quite what it used to be when there were 5 local clubs playing in a competition here, including one called Coolaminka, coached by a 19-year-old called Neil Curley. Now there is only one side here, the Woomera Rockets. Understandably, there was a buzz in town when a jet touched down Saturday afternoon, bringing teams for the first pre-season cup match ever played in Woomera. Sturt, West Torrens and a few wheels from the SANFL arrived, with the temperature around the 40-degree mark. Despite the usual desolate scenes, the oval was in mint condition thanks to 6 weeks of intensive work and water. A full day of matches had been arranged, most of them underage contests featuring combined area sides. Because of the heat, an ambulance was on hand to help out with dehydration suffered by both players and umpires in the early games. Despite the high temperatures, both teams warmed up enthusiastically, including former Sturt chargers Lawrence Shackey and Darryl Smith and the giant Chris Lindsay. Torrens even had their new club song written up, ready for a post-match sing-along. Outside, a crowd of more than 1,000 settled around the field, including fans from as far away as Cooper Pedy, Port Augusta, Adelaide and Cook. There was also a few bemused Americans. The caterers were ready, though, ordering nearly 5 tons of liquid refreshment. When the sun set, the temperature was still hovering in the 30s, and Woomera's Oval was the centre of South Australian football for one night. The first quarter was an even contest with Sturt a goal up at the first well-earned break.
You've let them off on a couple of occasions, and they got easy goals. Let's try and really pound into the team play.
Davies and Andy Bennett were both helped out with their job by locals eager with comments at every break. The other guys working hard were the trainers, who were battling to keep the fluids up to the players. The players themselves didn't shy away from the tough stuff. By half-time, the Eagles had grabbed a 15-point lead. Shackey, in particular, was damaging at centre-half forward with 4 goals. But the Double Blues chipped back, and at the last change, the Eagles' lead was cut to just 2 points. But a few late mistakes by Sturt allowed Torrens to win by 9 points, delighting the Eagles, especially Shackey and Smith. But afterwards, neither side put much emphasis on the result.
Oh, it was a good, honest contest, and I think that's what people want to come and watch footy for. Oh, well, it was a good workout. I think a few guys were disappointed after the game. There was, we butchered a few plays, which probably was telling in the final score, but it was a good workout.
Torrens' next match is against Centrals next Monday, the same night Sturt meets Woodville, hopefully in cooler conditions.
And there you see the scoreboard for the game. But remember, the Eagles getting home by 9 points. The final score, 16 goals, 7, 103. The Double Blues, 14 goals, 10, 94. Good performance by the Eagles, and they'd be very, very pleased indeed with that performance. We're pretty warm conditions up there, obviously, and making it very difficult for both sides. Looking at the goal scorers, firstly for the Eagles, Shackey, Hannam, each booting 4, 3 to Lindsay and 2 to Young Foot. And for the Double Blues, Walk 3, 2 each to Wilmot, Shoal and also Argus. And of course, Kim, West Torrens being your former side, you'd be pleased with the win. That's their first win in a pre-season match for 3 years, I believe.
Yeah, it's a good start, and it's probably even more encouraging, Ken, when you consider the fact they're 27 points down during that second quarter. But it's a great way to start. It's certainly better than losing. And as Andy Bennett said, though, it's only one game.
Well, that's for sure. A long way to go. OK, we'll take a short break and then come back with more action here at Footy Park. Stay with us, folks. Welcome back to Football Park. Of course, the second game between West Adelaide and Glenelg. There's been some magnificent highlights, Kim, in that first half of football. There's been some superb goals kicked. And of course, West Adelaide, while still down, they've certainly endeavoured, particularly in that first quarter, to do something about it.
Yeah, there certainly has. The standard's been very high, and there's been some great passages of play and some great goals, especially that one by Larkins, which I think we're about to see now. Great evasive skills, and he balanced himself then, and that's something that Darren Jarman does all the time. When he grabs the football, Ken, he really balances his body, and that was a great goal by Larkins.
And that hasn't been happening for most of that first half, Ken. There's been some blazing so far as the kicking is concerned from players coming down the ground.
There has. I think we spoke about it Saturday night, actually. A lot of players fall for the three-card trick with enthusiasm. They rush their work, and I think that's happened on a number of occasions tonight.
What about some of the marks that we've seen tonight? What about this bloke, Gibbs? He's a freak, isn't he?
He is.
Absolute dead-set freak. He can do anything. He's so calm, he's so cool. He just does what he likes to do at times.
I think Ross Gibbs is a legend. They should put his hands and feet in some wet concrete around Football Park here somewhere, because he does some absolutely incredible things on a football field, and I have never, ever seen anyone make it look more easy than what Ross Gibbs does. And that was another one of his marks then. He is a class player, and it's just a pity that sometimes his casual approach is interpreted as a lack of endeavour or commitment at times.
Actually, he's acting captain tonight, so obviously that's given him more responsibility, and he has played very well indeed.
He has, and that's going to be an interesting decision to be made by the Glenelg Football Club. Peter Carey gone, Chris McDermott out with a knee injury for most of the year, and I just wonder who will captain the Tigers this year.
I favour David Marshall, but of course we'll know that in the next few weeks. Also, Scotty Salisbury's played particularly well, and he's not renowned for his high marking, but he's taken one or two big grabs tonight, hasn't he, Scotty Salisbury?
He has. Well, the advantage that Scott Salisbury has, and the reason he can take good marks, even though he's not renowned for it, is that he never takes his eye off the football, and that's exactly what he did then. He is totally committed to the football or the body when it's coming at him, and that's the greatest feature of Scott Salisbury's game.
Yes, he's a very determined player, and a player that's full of courage. There, the stats at the moment, of course, you can see the scoring shots 15-9 for the Bloods there. Kicks, as you can see there, Kim, the Tigers have controlled it.
And the interesting one there, Ken, is the marks. 20 marks to West Adelaide, 35 to the Tigers, so they really are supreme in the air at the moment. Handballs, 47-37. The free kicks, there's not much in that. In fact, West Adelaide have two more. Rucks, one out of centre, 8-4. So I think it really is the height advantage that the Tigers have at the moment that tells the story.
Well, of course, can West Adelaide get back in the second half? Let's go to Brian Cunningham and Graham Campbell on the boundary. First of all, to you, Graham, can you see West Adelaide getting back into this game?
Well, firstly, Ken, can I tell you, I taught Ross Gibbs what he knows.
Turn it up, Graham.
I gave him, no, all jokes aside, folks, I gave him his first league game back in Perth in 1979 for West Perth. He's only a kid of 17 then, and he was on the bench, and the two crackers were cutting West Perth in half. I coached West Perth those days, and crackers played for Claremont. I said to Ross Gibbs, can you play back pocket? He said, I can play anywhere. So I put him in the back pocket, and he was still the same then. He was 17 years of age. He was cool and casual, marched around the field like there was nothing else to do but pick up the ball and kick it. And he was a magical player from day one.
But you didn't really teach him to mark, Graham, did you?
I just let him loose. I said, get out there and play football, son. I mean, we coaches take the credit when the guy comes up trumps, but he is outstanding tonight, Brian. He's the best player on the ground by far.
Well, has he always been so casual, Graham? That's the thing that gets me.
Always.
When he was young, was he casual, or is he
same.
slow now?
I must say, he played in the centre as a kid with the under-19s, or the Colts as they called them back in my old days in Perth, with West Perth that is, and he's always been the same, Ross Gibbs. And answer to your question, Ken, no, Westies can't get back into it. I hate to say that because I picked them to win by 1-10, but I think they're gone, Brian.
Well, I don't know so much. In the first quarter, Westies, well, it's still a game. There's still a half to go, Graham.
We've got to say that, folks, to keep you watching.
In that first quarter, Westies showed a lot, and they had a few running players, the players of the likes of Lamb and was up forward, Burgess, and they had other players. Harbinson, McKinnon and Filkey were players who I thought dropped out of it in the second quarter, and had those players kept going, then maybe they'd be a bit closer on the scoreboard.
Funnily enough, the best player's been Darren Bays, I believe, the boy in the centre. You know,
player.
number 18's had a few kicks. David Marshall's had his moments as well, his direct opponent, but at the moment, Ken, it looks like the Bays by plenty.
Going to Graham, that's some wise comments there from Mr. 1-10. How about that comment that he taught Ross Gibbs all he knows? He's unbelievable, isn't he?
He never ceases to amaze me, he really does.
On that high note, we'll take a break, folks. Stay with us. Welcome back to Football Park, and there you see the prize money for the Foundation Cup of 1989. First, $40,000. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Second prize, 25. Third, 15,000. Fourth, 12,000. Fifth, 8,000, and 5,000 to size between 6 and 10. With me, Graham Campbell. And Graham, you've made the point many times that the southwestern pocket, it's almost impossible to kick goals. Now, can you explain to me why?
Yes, well, I'll try, Ken. I'm using this computer board for the first time ever. Now, that little dot, folks, is where it is almost impossible to score. I'm doing that well, aren't I? It's impossible to score goals from that area. Now, don't ask me why, but the same thing eventuates out at VFL Park at Waverley. When I was coaching in Melbourne, we had the same system. You don't shoot goals from that little area there where all the dots are, because the ball invariably goes anywhere but between the big sticks. How's that? It's unbelievable. And see, that's what happens every time, folks, because A breeze down there, some sort of a channel which just doesn't let the player shooting a straight kick for goal find the goals.
Is it a phantom channel, Graham, or what?
Well, but if I know, Ken, the same thing doesn't eventuate at the other end. If you recall, Gary Christie kicked the goal from a oblique angle up on the other end of the ground. What shall we call it, the lake end? But down this end, Gary Christie wouldn't have got within a bull's roar of the goals given the same opportunity. So all I'm saying is every time you see a player shooting for goal from this right-hand pocket that the golf course end, as Ian Day likes to call it, he plays a lot of golf, and just all around here, you cannot kick a goal from Football Park if caught in that situation. The deal is centre the ball on the edge of the square, folks, and hopefully a lead may pick up the the ball that falls short or just hangs up on the edge of the square. The deal would be with coaches. They would say, don't shoot for goal, fellas, hanging up the edge of the square and look for that lead.
Well, Graham, you better have a word to Kevin Morris and also Graham Corns about those tactics. That's unbelievable. Actually, we've seen a goal kick there tonight, haven't we?
No, not from this end, we haven't, no.
Haven't we? I thought we did in the first game.
The other end. The early game you may have.
Yes.
The folks haven't seen that game yet.
OK, back with the umpires. I've enjoyed that, Graham. That was fantastic. I've learned something tonight from Football Park. It really is intriguing whether they can't kick goals from the southwestern half-forward flank. I now know. It's the phantom pocket, we'll call it. The phantom pocket. Back with umpire Nick Abbott. Last year's grand final umpire at half-time. The Bays 8-7-55, West 3-6-24. Down goes the bounce. Up they go. Christie got his hands to the football, but taken by Murray of West Adelaide. Out wide. Strong, hard body work on that occasion by Bowe. But umpire Mark Mackey will call for a bounce. Lyndon Bowe kicked the first 2 goals for the Tigers. One from Broken Hill. Murray over the top. Again, scrambly football, and umpire Mark Mackey. He's been unable in recent years to hold a consistent place in the league panel. Perhaps this may be his year. Bilkey, hurried kick away. Duthie. Chance for James, runs through half forward, straightens, raises the eye. This is an important kick. It's a goal. That's kick number 4. West Adelaide 4-6. Trail the Bays 8-7 on 9's Wide World of Sports.
Great goal to James. That was his second. It's now 30 points to 55. The mark's been taken by James West. 1 minute and 39 seconds gone in this third term as the ball goes out towards Patterson. He gets there before Melican. The handball goes back on. Now the kick forward towards goal by Bowe. He's kicked 2 and he's kicked 2-1. So he kicked those both in the first term, and it was rather auspicious debut by Bowe, the boy from Broken Hill, and Peter Carey certainly has a big opinion of this lad. It'll be interesting to watch his progress throughout the season.
Westies now within 26 points. The kick out favours Glenelg, and the mark taken by big Gary Christie. Puts the ball back into the scoring zone. Sets it up for the big Flyers. There's a push out there. The umpire right on the spot. KG didn't agree with that one.
Oh, gee whiz, that was a disgrace. He staged the free, staged the push. There was no push, it was a body contact.
Well, big Jim West has got the ball. He's happy about that. 40 metres out from goal. 5th kick. Lining up. In he comes. Puts it right up into the goal square. Will it carry the distance? No. Thump through or thump towards the boundary line and hits the bottom of the post. The ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket. Almost 3 minutes now into this third quarter.
Yes, and James West on that occasion taking the dive, but the umpire paid the free kick. Tony Simons working hard. Chance for West Adelaide coming out of defence. That's Nichols. Up towards the centre of the ground they go. James behind. Ball to ground. Chance for Seabone. Ever reliable at centre half back. Over to Duthie. Duthie to centre half forward. Lord, tickets to me. Should have marked that one. Held there by Peter Maynard. But umpire Mark Mackey says it's my ball. See Jamison on, number 35 for the Bays. He's come on in their second half. He's only a youngster. He's come to the juniors. He's a very fine footballer. There he's using the screen.
Ken Toomey just appears to be struggling a little bit tonight. I wonder with maybe he should be moved to centre half forward where we thought he'd possibly play at the start of the game. Nevertheless, the ball is now kicked forward again. Glenelg go forward with Jamison. Had a great season in the reserves, and there's a great snapshot there by Dean. He's kicked his second, and Glenelg are looking very good. In fact, it's Simons, and that was his second.
Tony Simons there. Great player, Tony Simons. And, of course, it's his 4th kick. And we see, of course, Jamison, the youngster, who's come to the junior grades for the Bays. And they hold that young boy in very high regard at the Bay, I know for a fact. Very, very talented player, beautifully balanced. So the Bays now 9-8-62, West 4-6-30. McTavish working hard. Brett Dean, very clever. High kick to half forward. Nigel Mansell over the top. That's his nickname. He's actually Darren Mansell. They call him Nigel at the Bay. Plays on quickly. This is Nichols using his pace. Did that very well for West Adelaide. Raises the eyes, kicks towards half forward. Dennis Russell from behind is the spoiler. Tapped on. A chance for Miller. Can't pick it up. Gibbs coming in and races the ball over the line for a minor score. West Adelaide 4-7-31. The Tigers 9-8-62 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Reads the play exceptionally well, Ross Gibbs. He was just lurking outside of the pack there, waiting for an opportunity to swoop on that ball, and he did it well, forcing it over the line. Now the ball has gone out towards Dean. Dean kicks long with that left boot, hugging the boundary line. Up high was Christie, couldn't take it. Mansell there, Nichols as well. Mansell did that well. That's a high tackle. Play on advantage. Bow gave it over towards Salisbury very quickly. Scotty Salisbury has one bounce, spears out a pass. He's looking for James West, and he's found his target. Great play, the Tigers. Tremendous. All set up with quick thinking by young Mansell to get rid of that ball. It's his fourth mark, James West. As we mentioned before, Toomey having his problems as West bangs that one through the middle.
.37 points the difference in favour of the Bays, and they go forward again. Seem to have all control of it out of the centre now as Bow goes up toward the full forward area. Thumped away. West is in there over the top of the ball. Working hard, Patterson. Ball held to him. Umpire will come in and bounce. It's only 20 metres out from the Bay goal. 10-8-68 they are. Glenelg, West Adelaide are 4-7-31. 6.5 minutes played in this third quarter. Westies need to do something pretty well desperately to get back into the game. Kick out, gives a chance now. Here they go, the run provided. Cordy with the kick down towards centre half forward, but the Bay, supreme in defence. Seabone takes it easily, transfers the play across to Gibbs, loses ground 5 metres or so. Now Gibbs back towards Dennis Russell, and that's back behind where Seabone kicked it originally. But nevertheless, they've put it out toward the centre wing. They've broken the play up the Bays. Doofy's got it. Well shepherded as he goes forward toward the half-forward area, and he finds Dean. Onto the left boot, the young fellow goes. Down toward the half-forward area, the fly from behind. Over the back was Jim West, couldn't take it. Picked up, and Lowby, who's onto the ground in this second half. Dale Lowby kicks out toward half-back flank and finds McKinnon.
Yes, McKinnon with Robert Miller on the mark, the boy from Carlton on for the first time for the Bays. Goes into the centre of the ground, Filkey's his target. Weaves back onto the right boot, comes right across the ground to Larkins. Centre wing, grandstand side, Larkins bounds away. Up into the pocket he goes, a chance for the Bloods here as we see young Bays coming out and taking a fine mark. He's been a fairly impressive performer tonight for the Bloods, young Philip Bays. 8 kicks. Philip Bays now going towards the Blake end. Very important kick this for the Bloods. They need goals. They trail badly at the moment. The kick's on its way. It's going across the face of the goals. Into the square it goes. Gibbs! But sadly for the Bays, it threw for a minor score. Ross Gibbs had the set. He's played brilliantly tonight, Ross Gibbs. He really has. And it's hard to imagine why this bloke can't win a permanent place in the Glenelg side. It amazes me. It really does. To the outer side he goes. Miller from behind, beautiful mark. Play on, it's a call. Well, I would have played it. The umpire's closer than me. That's umpire Mick Abbott. I thought Miller had enough of the cherry, but umpire Mick Abbott says no, he didn't, and he'll call for a bounce.
Well, you beat the judge. He certainly got up very high, and I think he probably deserved to be paid that mark. Another exciting young prospect for the Tigers as Filkey gets his body over that ball. He's been very quiet since the first quarter. In fact, that was only his 3rd possession since quarter time. Make that his 4th as Lamb gets that back over towards Nichols. In fact, Harbinson as he spears out a pass. Oh, Gibbs with the spoil once more. He's been supreme in defence tonight. Now the ball comes out from Miller over towards James. James lines them up, swings it back. It's a magnificent attempt. Back there, the ball has been rushed over the line by Dennis Russell. And they just can't find anything up forward, Ken.
No, they can't, Kim. They just can't find a consistent winner, which is hurting the Bloods badly. This man with the football again is Gibbs. The runner is Smith, Neville Smith for the Tigers. A wobbly old kick towards Dean, has the sit Dean. Oh, that's a great performance by Cordy, almost took the mark. Strike me, Pete. I thought Cordy had his hands on the football, but the mark to Christie has been paid. to ground, it goes. Good defensive work by Tickets Tim. He pushes the ball out of play, and the boundary throw-in will take place.
I thought it was a good attempt by Cordy to mark. I thought he had the ball in his hands, and it was just snatched out by the taller Christie. Boundary throw-in, up they go, and yep, I think that bears it out too. Around the body now. West Adelaide go forward. The chance there for Filkey. That's brave. That's good. Great mark. Pretty heavy body work there. Got to be a 15-metre penalty against Gary Christie. Umpire right on the spot. And Filkey will play if he can.
Yeah, well called, Bucky.
A couple of heated arguments going on behind play. Cordy's got it though, and West Adelaide go into attack. The kick, not a good one. Ross Gibbs, absolutely gulped that up. Another mark to Gibbs. That's his 7th. As he goes wide towards the half-back flank position. Out there wide, another Bay player, a mark. Miller, the kick, down toward the centre wing position. Players set themselves. West up in front, he's taken the mark. The Bays are supreme in the air, also on the ground. The handball wasn't a good one, put his player in plenty of strife. That's McTavish as he goes around the body. Mansell's there, has taken the mark at half forward. He's been a real live wire tonight. Away the Bays go. Toward the full forward area, in front, Melican on the chest. He's got it. And he's only 20-25 metres out from goal.
This bloke will have a big year, in my opinion. Melican, he's big, he's strong. Melican now, lining up, going towards the golf course end. The low kick, will it get in? No, it won't. Only a minor score to the Bays. They go to 10-9-69. West 4-9-33 on Nine's wide world of sports. Monday night live footy from Footy Park. Beautiful venue, terrific stadium. Great night for the spectators, a bit warm for the players. The kick-off towards the grandstand side. Oh, top mark to Melican, but a free kick has been paid to Gibbs, I believe, in the interim. Something happened behind the play, and Gibbs is feeling he's got this ball on the string tonight. That's kick number 9 for Roscoe. Poorly put on that occasion. And Cordy, from a Footscray player, takes the mark. He goes short. Larkins is the player he's got. Under the left boot, goes out wide, looking for Shane Fitzsimmons. He'll run around Brett Dean. Up to half forward. He goes McKinnon. Can he mark? He can. Doesn't lack endeavour, McKinnon. Goes back into the centre. Beautifully put. Beautifully put on that occasion. And it's Lowby. Dale Lowby coming on at half-time. He's about 45 to 50 metres from goal. Dale Lowby with the footy now. Plenty of time. He won't get the accuracy. He's got the distance, but again, only a minor score. So West Adelaide 4-10-34. The Tigers 10-9-69.
Well, they're dwindling their opportunities, Ken, and I'm sure Kevin Morris wouldn't be happy with that. They did this in the first term. They're having the majority of the play in the first, well, 12 minutes of this quarter, yet they're not converting, and it must be very disappointing and frustrating as Melican, who showed a great deal of promise last year and with a little bit of maturity could provide the goods for the Tigers this year. Now the ball comes out wide, looking for Salisbury front position. It went over the head of him and Miller. Now back towards Cordy. Cordy handles towards the boundary. Salisbury over the top of that. Quite happy to see that go over the line. 13 minutes gone. West Adelaide 4-10-34. Glenelg 10-9-69. So there's 35 points in this game. A few quick goals could certainly liven it up. Larkins over the top of that. He needs support. There's none forthcoming. In the end, he had to go for the boundary line, and I'd say, Brian, just a dash of intent in that passage of play.
Well, yes, you're dead set right. Westies have got to do something and do it quickly. Boundary throw-in, up they go. Close to the boundary line again, and no result. We're 13 and a half minutes into this third quarter. It's 69 plays 34. Let's see if we can get it out this time. Big fellows go up. The tap down. Mansell across. That's nice work to Bow. Bow back towards the centre half-forward area. Oh, there's a push-out, or yes, the umpire's indicating player held on to, and the free kick will go to Gary Christie, the big ruckman. And he's only about 25, 30 metres out. There it is, the trip, I think, or being held on to. I think the umpire paid the hold on, but certainly there was a trip there as well. Christie lining up for goals. Has one goal to his credit. In he comes and kicks truly through the centre. Another goal to the Bays. 11-9, West 14.
Brett Dean with the footy now. Hooks around his body. Up towards half-forward he goes. Thumped away by West. A chance on that occasion for Miller. Miller over to Chigwedden. Chigwedden raises the eyes. Straightens up. What's he done? out. I think he's drilled it. It's kick number 7. Chickwidden, that's his first goal. Great work by Nick Chickwidden. Out there at Footy Park, thoroughly enjoying that goal to Nick Chickwidden, and he'd be loving that. Chicky, plenty of courage, plenty of heart, and they love him down the bay. A good handball by Robert Miller, the Carlton boy, first time with the Bays, and Nick Chickwidden, known as Chicky down the bay. He's somewhat of a folk hero down there, making no mistake. And there's Graham Cornsey. He's still frowning, for goodness sake. They lead by 8 goals. Cornsey, give us a smile. Come on.
A very hard man to please. They're looking good, though, the Bays. They're direct and they're handling the ball with a lot of purpose. Now it's the Bloods' turn as they go into attack. The kick is out wide towards Miller. He's been quiet tonight, and he takes that mark uncontested. Russell polices the mark. The kick is in long. Up high there is Doofy, and he drifted in nicely in front of the pack there and took a strong mark. Chris Doofy, not sure which way to go, gets it over towards Seabohm. His left foot kicks a wobbly one, setting himself young Brett Dean. He was opposed to 2 players. One of them was Cordy. Now the ball tapped out towards Larkins, flanked by young Bays. Bays grabs it, uses the left boot. He didn't know where to go, and it goes straight to Ross Gibbs. Well, the movement was poor up forward in defence of the youngster. Ross Gibbs has taken 8 marks and is about to have his 10th kick. And I'd say, Brian, it had to be pretty close to being best on ground tonight.
Well, he's been a great player, there's no doubt about it. Everyone's seen it, but it's been made a lot easier for Ross Gibbs back there with the poor disposal of the West Adelaide forwards. They really haven't given their forwards much of a chance. Back toward the centre wing, off hands, and out of bounds, a push in the back, the umpire right on the spot, and the free kick, of course, to Peter Maynard, acting vice-captain tonight for the Bays, and he's on centre wing, dead set centre wing, about to drive the Bays forward. The 7th kick, in a relatively quiet player. Normally used to seeing him get a lot more possessions, but perhaps some of his teammates tonight have done that job for him. Down towards that half-forward area, again close to the boundary line. McKinnon pretty desperate there, but it'll beat all players out of bounds. It's 17.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter, and it's all the Bays.
Yes, it sure is, and if West Adelaide are to go anywhere this year, they've got to find a key forward from somewhere. Lyndon Bowe hooks it back up towards full forward. Patterson coming out, taps it on cleverly to Cordy. Cordy out wide. West Adelaide free kick, not played, ball to ground. Player appear to get a high tackle. Maynard coming up. In fact, there's a free kick on this occasion to West Adelaide. Something happened behind the play, and umpire Mark Mackey right on the spot. Uderson said here, oh, you get a high one too, Nichols. Nichols goes out wide. Cordy up towards full forward. Free kick. The push. Oh, the umpires now are playing the free kicks. They're coming right, left and centre. Kevin Hurd, number 33, with the free kick. Going towards the lake end. And as I said earlier, if West Adelaide are to do well this year, they've got to find a key forward, and they've got to find him quickly. Hurd's first kick for the match. Kicks on its way. He's kicked accurately. It's straight through the middle. West Adelaide 5-10-40. The Tigers 12-9-81 on 9th. Wide World of Sports.
The Tigers lead by 41 points at the 19-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Been hard work out there tonight. Conditions are very warm. The ground's in magnificent shape at the moment. The turf looks great as the handball goes out. Now punched out towards Maynard. He takes it off hands over the top towards Mansell. They are running a lot better than West Adelaide. Back towards Maynard. The kick is high. This allows the big chap to set himself in. Christie, he couldn't take it. West picks up the crumbs. He taps the ball forward. Off the ground there by Thompson and Dean. In fact, it was Salisbury there. He soccers it off the ground as well. Now back to Simons. Gee, there's a lot of chaps up there with blonde hair as Simons twists that around his body, and it's a minor score. 82 plays 40. Again, I find it rather strange that Tony Simons is playing out of the forward pocket all night.
Bad. Everyone's seen it, but it's been made a lot easier for Ross Gibbs back there with the poor disposal of the West Adelaide forwards. They really haven't given their forwards much of a chance. Back toward the centre wing, off hands, and out of bounds, a push in the back, the umpire right on the spot, and the free kick, of course, to Peter Maynard, acting vice-captain tonight for the Bays, and he's on centre wing, dead set centre wing, about to drive the Bays forward. The 7th kick, in a relatively quiet player. Normally used to seeing him get a lot more possessions, but perhaps some of his teammates tonight have done that job for him. down towards that half-forward area, again close to the boundary line. McKinnon pretty desperate there, but it'll beat all players out of bounds. It's 17 and a half minutes into the third quarter, and it's all the Bays.
Yes, it sure is, and if West Adelaide are to go anywhere this year, they've got to find a key forward from somewhere. Lyndon Bowe hooks it back up towards full forward. Patterson coming out, taps it on cleverly to Cordy. Cordy out wide. West Adelaide free kick, not played, ball to ground. Player appear to get a high tackle. Maynard coming up. In fact, there's a free kick on this occasion to West Adelaide. Something happened behind the play, and umpire Mark Mackey right on the spot. Henderson said here, oh, you get a high one too, Nichols. Nichols goes out wide. Cordy up towards full forward. Free kick. Push. Oh, the umpires now are playing the free kicks. They're coming right, left and centre. Kevin Hurd, number 33, with the free kick. Going towards the lake end. And as I said earlier, if West Adelaide are to do well this year, they've got to find a key forward, and they've got to find him quickly. Hurd's first kick for the match. Kicks on its way, he's kicked accurately. And straight through the middle, West Adelaide 5-10-40. The Tigers 12-9-81 on 9's Wide World of Sports.
The Tigers lead by 41 points at the 19-minute mark of this third quarter. Been hard work out there tonight. Conditions are very warm. The ground's in magnificent shape at the moment. The turf looks great as the handball goes out, now punched out towards Maynard. He takes it off hands over the top towards Mansell. They are running a lot better than West Adelaide. Back towards Maynard. The kick is high. This allows the big chap to set himself in. Christie, he couldn't take it. West picks up the crumbs. He taps the ball forward. Off the ground there by Thompson and Dean. In fact, it was Salisbury there. He soccers it off the ground as well. Now back to Simons. Gee, there's a lot of chaps up there with blonde hair as Simons twists that around his body, and it's a minor score. 82 plays 40. Again, I find it rather strange that Tony Simons is playing out of the forward pocket all night.
Yeah, he's a pretty versatile player, though. Kimmy plays anywhere, Tony Simons. I prefer him on the wing, of course, but he has roved in the trial games, pre-season trial games. He's played in the pocket and played at centre wing.
Well, he's in fact started off at half forward, I think, tonight, so he's been pretty well everywhere. Out of defence come West Adelaide. Clayton Lamb been really sighted tonight, gets it across to Burgess. Across towards Dale Lowry now. Lowry short, the pass is on. Delivery not all that good. Didn't give the West forwards that much chance. And Glenelg thump it away in defence. Duthie, the handball, wide towards Seabohm. Can he pick it up before it goes across the boundary line? Does that. The handball across is good to Bowe. Been pretty impressive. Bowe across towards Maynard. Had a little look towards Chigwidden and found him at half forward. Nick Chigwidden, live wire player. Went over the top towards Mellick, and the big fella couldn't grab it. And this gives the chance for West Adelaide to come out of defence. Into time on now of this third quarter, it's Belton who gives the ball back towards Filkey. The free kick paid at centre-half back.
Filkey nowhere to go, changes his mind, finally comes towards grandstand side. Russell is there, he's fearless to Duthie, to Salisbury, Duthie, Melican fumbles. A chance now for West Adelaide's Clayton Lamb. Tapped it out to James. James with a long handball over the pocket. McKinnon short, beautifully put by Lottie McKinnon. That was topped up. And it's Lowry. Beautifully put. Goes short, poor checking by the Bays. And it's Shane Fitzsimmons. Didn't cover much ground. He could have kicked it from where he was, Dale Lowry. He took the risk. It came off. I personally would have had a shot for goal, but who might have criticised? Fitzsimmons almost directly in front with kick number 7, and he's missed. Well, there you go.
I was going to ask when your last goal was, Cage.
Many, many years ago, Bucky.
Actually, he was actually bouncing in the goal square, Bucky, and it went back over the line.
And that's the closest he ever got.
You'll get yours, fellas. You'll get yours.
It's going to be a long season, isn't it? I'm a bit worried about Graham Campbell. I've ripped into him tonight. Nevertheless, it's Seabohm to take the kick, and it's a short pass out towards Gibbs. He's picking up about kick number 13, in fact 11. Taking about that many marks as well. 6 handballs, so he really has had a big game. Miller over the top with an educated spoil. Dean forces that one over the line, and we'll have a throw in on the outer side. 22.5 minutes gone. 41 plays 82. And Kevin Morris has a little bit of work to do with his boys. They're struggling in the ruck. They're not effective up forward at the moment. Mind you, Clayton Lamb looked very good in the first term, but he's been forced to go out further downfield to get into the action as Gibbs gets another kick. Gee, it must be easy out there. Well, that's the way he makes it look anyway. Good mark by Nichols. He's tried hard all night, drives back towards centre half forward. He was looking for the big chap in Murray, couldn't find him. Now it's picked up by James. The handball comes out towards Bays. His left-handed handball over towards McKinnon. He's got a shrugger tackle. He did it well. Now over the top, the handball goes. His pressure. In there is Hurd. Oh, he's tackled. Oh, Gibbs is there. Great defensive play by the Tigers, and that's a point. It's no use arguing.
Well, I don't know whether Westies should have kicked earlier than that or not, but the pressure was there from the Bays. They could have let it go. They've got a good handy lead, but they worked hard and they kept the ball in the area. A point was scored instead of a goal. We see it. Pretty torrid stuff there. The Bays out of defence now. Toward the centre wing position. Almost out of defence. Picked up by Fitzsimmons. Across now towards Nichols. And looking for Lowby, but he can't control. Clayton Lamb's got it. What will he do? The handball wasn't too bad. James has got it now. He's in the forward pocket. That's an awkward-looking kick, but it's awfully close to goal. But back there in defence, taken by Smith. Neville Smith, the handball across. There he is, Mr. Magic. Ross Gibbs again. Out toward the centre wing position. He's got Chigwidden. Chigwidden's got a paddock. Gets it across towards McTavish now. Under the left boot. Down towards half forward. All West Adelaide. Oh, they've muffed it between the two of them. No talking at all from the West Adelaide players there, KG. And that's a real mistake.
Oh, dreadful looking on occasion. Back in, they've given away a free kick in the interim, so they're messing it up, Westies. Kevin Morris, their coach, wouldn't be a happy man with that passage of play, but the action with Chigwidden. McTavish gets out cleverly. Maynard working hard, taps it out. Brett Dean coming in. Knocked off the ground by Belton. That was good work. There's a chance now for West Adelaide through Nichols. He has to stop trying. Goes short to Dale Lowby. He'll be met by Duthie. Oh, Duthie. That was courage. Ran straight at the football. Didn't take the eyes off it. Kick number 8 to Duthie. Goes out wide. Has the well-balanced, beautifully loping Jamison. That's the player he goes to. Watch him put it. Beautifully done. Onto the left boot and found Christie on that occasion. Christie has already booted 2 goals. And I'll tell you what, he's got the big responsibility this year of carrying the Bayrucks. I think he'll thrive on it. And there's the siren to end the third quarter. Can he boot his 3rd goal on the Tigers' 13th? We'll wait and see. He's going towards the golf course end. Kicks on its way now. The goal umpire going to his right-hand side. Will it carry? No, it won't carry. So at three-quarter time, the score, Glenelg 12 goals, 10, 82. West Adelaide 5, 12, 42 on 9's Wide World of Sports.
Everyone's seen it, but it's been made a lot easier for Ross Gibbs back there with the poor disposal of the West Adelaide forwards. They really haven't given their forwards much of a chance. Back toward the centre wing, off hands, and out of bounds, a push in the back, the umpire right on the spot, and the free kick, of course, of Peter Maynard, acting vice-captain tonight for the Bays, and he's on centre wing, dead set centre wing, about to drive the Bays forward. The 7th kick, in a relatively quiet player. Normally used to seeing him get a lot more possessions, but perhaps some of his teammates tonight have done that job for him. Down towards that half-forward area, again close to the boundary line. McKinnon pretty desperate there, but it'll beat all players out of bounds. It's 17.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter, and it's all the Bays.
Yes, it sure is, and if West Adelaide are to go anywhere this year, they've got to find a key forward from somewhere. Lyndon Bowe hooks it back up towards full forward. Patterson coming out, taps it on cleverly to Cordy. Cordy out wide. West Adelaide free kick, not played, ball to ground. Player appear to get a high tackle. Maynard coming out. In fact, there's a free kick on this occasion to West Adelaide. Something happened behind the play. And umpire Mark Mackey right on the spot. Here it is, and see it here. Oh, you get a high one too, Nichols. Nichols goes out wide. Cordy up towards full forward. Free kick. Push. Oh, the umpires now are playing the free kicks. They're coming right, left and centre. Kevin Hurd, number 33, with the free kick. Going towards the lake end. And as I said earlier, if West Adelaide are to do well this year, they've got to find a key forward, and they've got to find him quickly. Hurd's first kick for the match. Kicks on its way. He's kicked accurately. And straight through the middle, West Adelaide 5-10-40. The Tigers 12-9-81 on 9th. Wide World of Sports.
The Tigers lead by 41 points at the 19-minute mark of this third quarter. Been hard work out there tonight. Conditions are very warm. The ground's in magnificent shape at the moment. The turf looks great as the handball goes out, now punched out towards Maynard. He takes it off hands over the top towards Mansell. They are running a lot better than West Adelaide. Back towards Maynard. The kick is high. This allows the big chap to set himself in. Christie, he couldn't take it. West picks up the crumbs. He taps the ball forward. Off the ground there by Thompson and Dean. In fact, it was Salisbury there. He soccers it off the ground as well. Now back to Simons. Gee, there's a lot of chaps up there with blonde hair as Simons twists that around his body, and it's a minor score. 82 plays 40. Again, I find it rather strange that Tony Simons is playing out of the forward pocket all night.
Yeah, he's a pretty versatile player, though. Kimmy plays anywhere, Tony Simons. I prefer him on the wing, of course, but he has roved in the trial games, pre-season trial games. He's played in the pocket and played at centre wing.
Well, he's in fact started off at half forward, I think, tonight, so he's been pretty well everywhere. Out of defence come West Adelaide. Clayton Lamb been really sighted tonight, gets it across to Burgess. Across towards Dale Lowby now. Lowby short, the pass is on. Delivery not all that good. Didn't give the West forwards that much chance. And Glenelg thumped it away in defence. Duthie, the handball, wide towards Seabohm. Can he pick it up before it goes across the boundary line? Does that. The handball across is good to Bow. Been pretty impressive. Bow across towards Maynard. Had a little look towards Chigwidden and found him at half forward. Nick Chigwidden, live wire player. Went over the top towards Mellick, and the big fella couldn't grab it. And this gives the chance for West Adelaide to come out of defence. Into time on now of this third quarter, it's Belton who gives the ball back towards Filkey. The free kick paid at centre-half back.
Filkey nowhere to go, changes his mind, finally comes towards grandstand side. Russell is there, he's fearless, to Duthie, to Salisbury, Duthie, Melican fumbles. A chance now for West Adelaide's Clayton Lamb. Tapped it out to James. James with a long handball over the pocket. McKinnon short, beautifully put by Lobby McKinnon. That was topped up. And it's Lowby. Beautifully put. Goes short, poor checking by the Bays. And it's Shane Fitzsimmons. Didn't cover much ground. He could have kicked it from where he was, Dale Lowby. He took the risk. It came off. I personally would have had a shot for goal, but who might have criticised? Fitzsimmons, almost directly in front with kick number 7, and he's missed. Well, there you go.
I was going to ask when your last goal was, Cage.
Many, many years ago, Bucky.
Actually, he was actually bouncing in the goal square, Bucky, and it went back over the line.
And that's the closest he ever got.
You'll get yours, fellas. You'll get yours.
It's going to be a long season, isn't it? I'm a bit worried about Graham Campbell. I've ripped into him tonight. Nevertheless, it's Seabohm to take the kick, and it's a short pass out towards Gibbs. He's picking up about kick number 13, in fact 11. Taking about that many marks as well. 6 handballs, so he really has had a big game. Miller over the top with an educated spoil. Dean forces that one over the line, and we'll have a throw in on the outer side. 22.5 minutes gone. 41 plays 82. And Kevin Morris has a little bit of work to do with his boys. They're struggling in the ruck. They're not effective up forward at the moment. Mind you, Clayton Lamb looked very good in the first term, but he's been forced to go out further downfield to get into the action as Gibbs gets another kick. Gee, it must be easy out there. Well, that's the way he makes it look anyway. Good mark by Nichols. He's tried hard all night. Drives back towards centre-half forward. He was looking for the big chap in Murray. Couldn't find him. Now it's picked up by James. The handball comes out towards Bays. His left-handed handball over towards McKinnon. He's got a shrug a tackle. He did it well. Now over the top, the handball goes. His pressure. In there is Hurd. Oh, he's tackled. Oh, Gibbs is there. Great defensive play by the Tigers. And that's a point. It's no use arguing.
Well, I don't know whether Westies should have kicked earlier than that or not, but the pressure was there from the Bays. They could have let it go. They've got a good handy lead, but they worked hard and they kept the ball in the area. A point was scored instead of a goal. We see it. Pretty torrid stuff there. The Bays out of defence now. Toward the centre wing position. Almost out of defence. Picked up by Fitzsimmons. Across now towards Nichols. And looking for Lowby, but he can't control. Clayton Lamb's got it. What will he do? The handball wasn't too bad. James has got it now. He's in the forward pocket. That's an awkward-looking kick. but it's awfully close to goal. But back there in defence, taken by Smith. Neville Smith, the handball across. There he is, Mr. Magic. Ross Gibbs again, out toward the centre wing position. He's got Chigwithin. Chigwithin's got a paddock, gets it across towards McTavish now, under the left boot, down towards half forward. All West Adelaide, they've muffed it between the two of them. No talking at all from the West Adelaide players there, KG, and that's a real mistake.
Oh, dreadful work on that occasion. Back in, they've given away a free kick in the interim, so they're messing it up, Westies. Kevin Morris, their coach, wouldn't be a happy man with that passage of play, but the action with Chigwithin. McTavish gets out cleverly. Maynard working hard, taps it out. Brett Dean coming in. Stuck off the ground by Belton. That was good work. There's a chance now for West Adelaide through Nichols. He hasn't stopped trying. Goes short to Dale Lowby. He'll be met by Duthie. Oh, Duthie! That was courage. Went straight at the football. Didn't take the eyes off it. Kick number 8 to Duthie. Goes out wide. Has the well-balanced, beautifully loping Jamison. That's the player he goes to. Watch him put it. Beautifully done. Onto the left boot and found Christie on that occasion. Christie has already booted 2 goals. And I'll tell you what, he's got the big responsibility this year of carrying the Bayrucks. I think he's right on it. And there's the siren to end the third quarter. Can he boot his 3rd goal and the Tigers 13th? We'll wait and see. He's going towards the golf course end. Kicks on its way now. The goal umpire going to his right-hand side. Will it carry? No, it won't carry. So at three-quarter time, the score, Glenelg 12 goals, 10, 82. West Adelaide 5, 12, 42 on 9's Wide World of Sports. Grantley-Filkey there, getting some rough treatment from Christie of the Bays, but eventually Grantley-Filkey winning the free kick and a bit of by-play with Scotty Salisbury coming in. Christie appealing to the umpire, but there you see the scores.
And looking at the goal scorers, there's not many there for West Adelaide. Lamb, Hurd and Larkins, 1 goal each, and James has kicked 2 and looked dangerous on occasions. And for the Tigers, Bo Simons and Christie, big Gary Christie, having a few opportunities up forward. They've all got 2 apiece.
Yeah, certainly a fantastic performance by the Bays. They lead, of course, at three-quarter time, 12-10, 82 to West Adelaide 5-12, 42. And Graham Campbell, West Adelaide, they don't have a clear winning forward.
They're completely forlorn, Ken. Really, there are no alternatives in tonight's side. And I don't know where Kevin Morris is going to get a goal kicking forward unless, as Kim Dillon said, I think during the course of the previous quarter, perhaps David Tickets-Toomey is the chance upfield. He kicked 6 goals on a few occasions last year, playing a centre-half forward, come full forward. And, but tonight's side is just bereft of goal kickers.
Graham, we've seen a lot of ball handling errors. I know it's early in the season. Can you see any reason down there on the ground why we should see that amount of errors?
I guess it's synonymous with over-anxiousness, Kim. Start of the year, players a little bit, I guess, tentative to really make the moves they would make mid-season, and they don't move at the ball with the same preciseness that they will 3 or 4 weeks from now. That's all you can say. But the Bays have made the game look easy. Ross Gibbs, particularly in the back pocket, as we've said time and time again, he's got the ball in the string and usually uses it to add advantage when he gets hold of the ball. Notice he always kicks in. He's not full back, but he kicks in every time, and he finds a bloke usually on his own, and away they go.
Graham, of course, another problem for West Adelaide. Young Darren Barch is out tonight, and he'll be the main ruckman. But gee whiz, backup support for Darren Barch is pretty thin at West Adelaide.
Well, Ken, what's wrong with Darren Barch, do you know?
Well, he's obviously injured. There's obviously some problem with him, yeah.
I asked you that because one of the keen supporters of the Bloods asked me on the way up. I said, I don't know. I said, it's hard to get information on injured people from time to time. But yes, he's a promising player, Barch, and they'll get him back within a couple of weeks, I guess, and that'll give them something. But at the moment, there's nothing there at all for centre bounce-ups and boundary throw-ins. Stephen Miller, a trier, but can't really handle ruck work to the same degree that a bigger person could do. They're going to miss the big fellow. Shane Malcolm, is he gone? What's the story there?
Shane Malcolm's gone back. Yeah. Jens Korda has gone back to Queensland, so they've lost 2 big men, and that leaves an enormous hole. And young Darren Barch, whilst he's a very good player, Graham, he's only young.
He's only a kid. They don't grow on trees, Ken. It isn't easy, but nonetheless, I dare say they'll work hard to find somebody. I mean, Kevin Morris is an astute coach, what we saw last year. Let's not forget, they won their first 2 games last year by less than a goal, then lost 9 straight and got out of that to make something out of the season. They're a side of contention still.
Good on you, Graham. It's Graham Campbell on the boundary line. Then, of course, talking of Graham, don't forget Graham Kennedy's Coast to Coast right after the football. It should be absolutely fantastic. OK, let's now take you back to our commentary spot with Bucky Cunningham.
Start of the final quarter.
And it's 40 points the difference. Glenelg 82, West Adelaide 42. Lots of work to do for the Bloods. Back in the centre. Big fellow Murray up against Christie. Tap down back in the middle. Players working hard over the top of it. There's almost been a free kick there to Tony McTavish. The umpire was on the wrong side, I thought, on that occasion. So he's going to bounce it again in the centre of the ground. And the ruckman at closer quarters this time. Christie grabs at one hand and gets a kick of sorts away. But still in a pack of players there, and no one can get it out. Eventually forced out, but not before the umpire's blown his whistle, and the third bounce down, still almost in the centre of the ground.
Yes, the Bays 12-10-82, West Adelaide 5-12-42 on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Socket off the ground by Tickets to Me. Dale Abbey runs past the football. Here's that man again. I'm sick of calling his name tonight, Ross Gibbs. He's at a party by himself. Belden mops up the crumbs, comes out towards Stephen Miller, who's been hot and cold tonight. Into the pocket he goes. Busted off the ball was Hurd. In the opinion of the umpire, it was illegal, so Kevin Hurd. Neville Smith querying what the free kick was for. But Kevin Hurd with the action now. West Adelaide going towards the golf course end. Trial by 40 points in the opening minute of this final term.
Well, Ken, this is where Graham Campbell says a player should pass off. Let's see what Hurd can do.
Kick number 2 for Kevin Hurd. It's a long kick. It won't quite get the accuracy or the distance. Off hands it goes. Jeff James is there and pushes it through. In fact, the goal, he's kicked the goal. Strike me feet. That's an unbelievable goal. So West Adelaide 6-12-48. Glenelg 12-10-82.
Sing you a song about 4 easy ways to cut down on the fat in your meals every day. Watch closely now.
Cut the spread on the bread. Forget the dough when you cook. Switch to low fat instead and take the skin off the junk.
So easy, let's hear it again.
Cut the spread on the bread. Forget the dough when you cook. Switch to low fat instead and take the skin off the chunk. Cut the spread on the bread. Forget the dough when you cook. Switch to low.
And that's a good mark by West Adelaide's Burgess. Burgess plays on quickly. It's a feature of his game, Burgess. He doesn't muck around. He likes to move the ball on quickly. McTavish was well tackled by Filkey. Been quiet since that first term. Now the ball goes forward from Bays and he finds McKinnon. McKinnon weaves his way through. Miller, great tackle nearly. Going back, he's paid it. I think that was too quick. It was a good effort, but gee, I think you've really got to hold him and throw him down.
I thought it was a great tackle. I would have paid it. I thought he really tried hard for that one. Got the fingernails there and grabbed hold of him. Up they go toward the centre wing. Off hands. Back there, working hard. Good work there by Thompson. Gets it across, but not too far. The big hands up there in defence, and Burgess has taken the mark. Burgess short towards Cordy. Cordy on the half-back flank. Taking time. The difference between the Bays and the Bloods is just this. The Bays get it on quickly. The Bloods are taking time to get it toward the centre. There's big Christie. Wheels out. The handball looked good, but went straight to a West Adelaide player. Larkins is there. Onto the left boot he goes. Now they can set it up with McKinnon. Across towards Filkey. Filkey will go forward. The lead's on, but the lead is a little late. And in front, the mark taken quite easily in defence by Smith. Neville Smith. Short pass out. We'll find big Jim West.
Jimmy West. Tucked away in the back pocket. Looking for leads further afield. He's played a bad game tonight, James. Towards centre wing he goes. Christie's his target. Oh, Bartlett, number 49, got his hands with it. He's on the ground for the first time, young Alan Bartlett. Kicks around his body is Paul Belton, and in fact out of bounds on the full. And Robert Miller, the former Carlton player, number 15, will take the relieving free kick. His first hit out with the Bays. Goes short to James West. West towards the centre half forward area. Tickets to me, thumps the ball away from Bartlett. Bartlett tries to get the ball out using his body, but umpire Mark Mackey will call for a bounce down. Number 49 on your screen is Alan Bartlett, junior player from the Bays, comes from the under-17s and under-19s. Big strong boy. Had a number of injury problems in his career, but he can play footy. And then goes the bounce. Over the top when Robbie Thompson got the tap away. Free kick has been paid to West Adelaide. Grimley is the player. To Belton. Nichols, he hasn't stopped trying. He's in trouble though. Oh, poor handball. But goes in and does the heavy work again, allows Belton to get the ball away. David Toomey with a high kick. Oh, straight to Scotty Salisbury, dropped a gimme. He's taken a couple of speckies tonight. Clayton Lamb's in more strife in the early settlers. Down goes Seabone and a free kick. Seabone with the free kick. Gee whiz, he's been like the Rocket Gibraltar.
Well, that was incredible, Ken. Two West Adelaide players had Scott Salisbury lined up. He dropped the mark and the two West Adelaide players ran into each other. There's a good mark by Toomey. Good bit of niggle there from Jamison. 7 touches for Toomey, so he hasn't had a real big night. And again, he hasn't played a lot of football over the last 18 months. The kick by Hurd. Out wide. In there, the handball from Smith. Back towards Gibbs. Attendance of 7,000 people here tonight. It's a little bit down on Friday night, but once again, the weather has been extremely hot. Brian Duthie's looked pretty good. He just seems to be finding a bit of form after injury last year and coming back from Fitzroy.
Looks extra good to me, and he's finding his way there with players he may not have played a lot with.
Exactly, the turnover of players is quite incredible as Chigwidden takes that ball and spears out a pass towards Melican. Oh, went straight back to Chigwidden, couldn't take it, now he gets it. Picks up the ball from Bartlett. Bartlett goes towards goal. The accuracy quite not there, and gee, there's an exciting breed of new players down at the Bay at the moment.
And they've all got blonde hair, it seems, too. There's blonde hair everywhere. They breed them down there that way, it seems.
It is a beachside suburb, I suppose, Bucky.
Out they come, West Adelaide. Let's see if they can go forward now. From defence, here they come. The chance now for Filkey. Gets the handball back again. He's on centre wing. Looking forward. That's better. Lifted the eyes. Got the player at centre half forward. Going to get the run on from Cordy now. The handball across was good. Here goes Westies now. The chances they go forward. The kick wasn't that good. In there was Duthie. Spoiled. 35 points the difference in favour of the Bays as they go forward again. Stifled, a lovely smother by Chigwidden. This gives the chance now for Mansell lining up the goals, but he's offline with that 1 point, and Chigwidden's work in that centre half forward area to smother the kick. Pretty brave stuff. And so at the 10.5-minute mark of the final quarter, it's the Bays. West Adelaide not making much impression on that scoreboard. Kick out toward half-back. Up they go. Big flies from behind. Duthie was up high. Couldn't grab. Lauby has got the ball. Yes, he's got rid of it too. Nice handball through the pack. And West Adelaide go forward. Belton has taken the mark on centre wing. Oh, he's put McKinnon under heaps of strife. He got grabbed around the neck, so he got the free kick, but really it wasn't a good movement from there. McKinnon will drive the ball further forward for West Adelaide. They're 7-12-54. Glenelg 13-12-90.
Over the top he goes to Belton. Belton towards centre half forward, but Seabone has been an ever-reliable defender. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion. The crumbs go to Fitzsimmons. Up towards full forward they go. Dropping back a super mark. Has it been paid? Yes, it has. James West is the player. Into the pack he goes. That's his 9th mark. Out to Gibbs. Gibbs was kicked up getting kicks. Kick number 16. Miller of the Bays. Towards centre wing he goes. Grimley is there. Coming out as Hallahan onto the ground in this last quarter. The boy from Shepparton. Pumped away on that occasion. Simons does it cleverly. Burgess was the West Adelaide player. Back to Scotty Salisbury. Flanked by Hallahan. Oh, it's a shocking kick. Offline. He did it well, young Hallahan, until the final kick. And didn't steady. And 1 point was the result. So it's West Adelaide 7-12-54. The Tigers 13-13-91.
One really does wonder why Tony Simons is only drifting around the forward lines. Perhaps he's got a little injury or he's not 100% fit, but I'm sure we'll see him back on the wing later in the season as Chigwidden kicks that ball up high. Back there is Simons, and maybe that's why he's up in the forward lines.
Well, you've answered your own question there, Kimber. That's why he does it.
Oh, Ken, he's good enough to play at any end of the ground or even the middle or anywhere. But I do really think he is the best value when he's on the wing. Making out he's going to handball that, but obviously he wasn't. His 6th kick, he's kicked 2 goals already. That's his 3rd, so he's kicked 3 goals too. He's had 5 scoring shots, and he's a very talented player, Tony Simons. West Adelaide 7 goals, 12-54, trailing Glenelg 14 goals, 13-97, and we've had 13 minutes.
All he knows where the ball is. Look at him, he's got his eyes on it. Obviously other people had their eyes on it too, but it's positioning that makes it a mark, and he did it very, very well. And of course the quick kick from Chigwidden, which put the opposition defence out of sorts. Chigwidden picked it up quickly and got it onto the boot before West Adelaide defenders could get in position. So another goal to the Bays. 97 plays 54, and we've played almost 14 minutes now into the final quarter. Back in the centre, bounce down, up they go. Christie, tap down. Chigwidden couldn't control. West Adelaide trying to work it forward. I think the free kick is going back to Gruntley Filkey. It is. held without the ball. He's on the forward side of centre. The kick now from Filkey. Right down toward the full forward area. Up they go, the big hands up there. It looks like Duthie, no, Big Jim West it is. He's strong. That's his 10th mark, Big Jim West. Been a good player in defence. Now out towards Duthie. Duthie will go towards centre wing, trying to set up the play. Looking out there and finding Smith, but Smith can't control. It's out of bounds on centre wing.
Just a reminder, of course, at the conclusion of the footy, Graham Kennedy's coast to coast. You recall Graham Kennedy dropping the Dax the other night. What will he do tonight? You better stay tuned. Coast to coast with Graham Kennedy right after the footy. Here's a chance now for Fitzsimmons. Handball smothered back towards the boundary line and goes out of bounds. That's all the bays here at Footy Park. And a lot of people said the bays would struggle, may struggle without Kerry McDermott. I was one of those. And there you see on that occasion Winter on the boundary line doing a few exercises. McTavish over the top to Jamison. Back to Miller, who threw the ball away. Handball's back to Simons. They're doing what they like. That's Jamison. Up towards full 40 goes. Thumped away by Burgess. Ball to ground. Melican working hard. Throws it out to Darren Mansell. His hurry kick is offline and through for a point. We see Clayton Lamb coming off for the Bloods. And Winter going on.
Well, as we mentioned before, Kevin Morris certainly with a lot of work to do, and certainly will have to do a little bit of rethinking as Mansell cuts that off. Oh, that was a beautiful interception. He snaps towards goal. It's a minor score once more. Clayton Lamb, one of the most gifted players in the West Adelaide side, leaving the ground. He looked dangerous in the first quarter at full forward.
I don't think he's completely fit, Kimbo. He's been carrying some small thigh strain.
Well, it seems ridiculous to risk him this early in the season if it's a driving muscle or something like that. Going to be a long season, so I can't see a lot being achieved by playing him tonight if that was the case, Ken. Ravisi over the top of that. He's grown his hair a little bit from last year.
He's had a frizzy haircut.
Certainly has, yeah. Look, a bit like Yannick Noah. Umpire Mark Mackey to put ball to ground. 16 minutes gone, 54 plays 99. The Tigers have looked pretty sharp tonight. The tap went down from Miller to Ravisi. His kick was smothered. Players in there diving on top of the ball. A free kick's been picked out and it'll go the way of big Gary Christie. Former South Adelaide player. Will be a very handy player for the Tigers this year in the absence of Peter Carey. The kick is long. Up high there was Melican. Couldn't take the mark. Bartlett that was. Got it out towards Chig Whidden. Chig Whidden got pushed into the ground. Bartlett in there, so too Ravisi. Players unable to knock that ball clear, and we'll have a bounce once more about 55-60 metres away from the Tigers' goal.
So 17 minutes into the final quarter. 7-12 West Adelaide, but Glenelg 14-15. The Bays have done it well. Not a lot for Westies to crow about tonight. There's the big handball across, Melican. Next handball wasn't so good. In there, working hard, Ravisi trying to get it out. Short kick. Filkey's got it. Now West Adelaide, can they set it up? Out towards Belton he goes. He's on his wrong foot, now steadies, onto the right foot he goes. Out towards the half-forward flank area, off hands. Here's a chance for West Adelaide now. The handball across to Lauby. Lauby's got to get around. Will he have a look? He did. Got it across towards Harvinson now. Sidesteps nicely. Goals he goes for. But I think he's a little offline, or it may not make the distance. No, a mark's been taken right on the line. West Adelaide mark. McKinnon it is. As he gets up, a very acute angle. A couple of metres out from goal. 18 touches this evening. Lining up now for West Adelaide's 8th goal. Will he play on from that position? He's looking around, looking for leads. Now he's got to look at the goals. Not a lot of time taken there. And hits the post with it. Pretty good effort from that position. So West go to 7-13. There's another kick. The umpire's made a ruling. Yes, it certainly is.
What actually happened, Brian, one of the offending players from that 10-yard run has went over the mark, and that's where he's got another kick.
Well, here he comes. He's only 2 metres out now. And according to the umpire, that's good enough. Another goal to Westies.
There is one part of an aircraft that other airlines simply don't have. To people who fly regularly, it's a rather important part. It's the small section towards the front of the plane where business people can relax, catch up on work, or prepare for the meetings ahead. It's called business class, and in Australia, only Australian has it. If you thought all airlines were much the same,
You should see us now.
And there you see the Bays with a big lead of something like 39 points over the Bloods.
umpire Mark Mackey. On your screen at the moment, his co-umpire tonight is Mick Abbott, who umpired last year's grand final superbly. Down goes the bounce. Bumped on by Lowby. Goes to McKinnon, up towards full forward. Hurd over the top. Smith, who's played pretty well, supported by, on this occasion, Gibbs, towards the boundary line. Let's roll out, and the boundary umpire will bring the ball back into play. We're 19 minutes into the final quarter. Now, this the final game in round 1 of the Foundation Cup. We'll give you, of course, again on Friday night, live from Football Park. Hurd, Melican over the back, ball to ground. Fitzsimmons working hard. Melican in there. Socket off the an attempt at socket off the ground by Gibbs. And an airy to Miller to Seabone. Gee, he's been like the rocket Gibraltar tonight to Seabone. Simo's in the back pocket now. He's kicking goals a moment ago. Over to Robbie Thompson. Robbie Thompson goes towards centre half forward. Over the top, Grimley. The crumb's taken by Maynard. Hooks it around his body. Chick Whitten goes high with Belton. Belton with the crumbs. Did it cleverly, Belton. Has Nichols. Hasn't been West Adelaide's worst player tonight. Over the top. Harbison is messing about. Grimley now back to Belton. Can they do something with it? He takes the mark. Long kick out wide. McKinnon's there, and that's loose checking. McKinnon by himself, and he takes the mark. Kick number 11 for McKinnon. Something like 19 possessions tonight. McKinnon up towards the goals it goes. Will it carry Melican? Mark hasn't been paid? No. Call of play on. I thought it was a mark to the West Adelaide player, but called off hands by the umpire. Ball to ground. Fitzsimmons. McKinnon, has he goal? He has. Finally the Bloods put through a goal. West Adelaide 9-12, 66. Glenelg 14-15, 99.
Well, he's certainly been one of their better players, McKinnon, along with Nichols. They've been easily the 2 best players for West Adelaide tonight, and Robbie McKinnon only knows one way how to play football, and that's 100%. He's a real trier. He puts his head down. He'd run through a brick wall, and he's posted his second goal, and he's certainly done his side proud tonight.
There it is through the centre on replay, and the ball back in the centre. The kick away, long kick by Toomey down towards centre half forward. West Adelaide belatedly forward again, but the free kick is to West, and he's taken the free from centre half back, holding on. Kick, an atrocious one from Jim West, straight into the man on the mark. He looks to be a bit tired, Jim, holding the ball. Pretty obvious free kick there. We're into time on of this final quarter. And the chance now for Damien Murray, the big ruckman. He's worked hard in centre. There we go. Big Jim West picks the ball up now, and he's tackled. Lovely tackle from behind. Pinned the arms. The ball fell to the ground. It was obvious to everyone here at the ground that was holding the ball. Damien Murray lining up. He's about 45 metres out. Lanky player. Awkward-looking kick. Doesn't quite make the distance, and it's offline anyway. So a minor score. Takes West to 9-13, Glenelg 14-15.
22 minutes into the final term. Ross Gibbs, in my opinion, the best man on the ground. Goes short to McTavish. McTavish plays on quickly. From the back pocket, has a bounce, raises the eyes, kicks towards centre wing, looking out there for James West, and he stood his ground and took a fine mark. With the handball, to Jamison, over the top to Chick Whitten. Chick Whitten up towards full forward they go, or centre half forward, should I say. Ball to ground. Burgess. Ravisi can't pick it up. Tickets turn me off the ground. Luckily it goes to a player, McKinnon, and he hasn't been West Adelaide's worst player tonight by a large margin. Belton with a spiral punt kick up towards full forward. Getting back there is Neville Smith, and he's played very well for the Bays. Out wide he goes to Tony Simons. The Scala Pimpernel he is. He's everywhere. Short he goes. Away they go. This is young Houlihan. Up towards centre half forward he goes, and a good mark taken on that occasion by Christie.
It certainly was, Ken. He's been a focal point, and he's been very strong around the ground. He's kicked 3 goals already, Christie. In fact, 2 goals and a number of scoring shots. Eyes on the ball, up high. He's got a good leap for a big man, and that's a strong mark in opposition to Miller. They'll be kicking from about 40 metres out, 45, assisted by a slight breeze. The approach was good. He put everything into that one. The accuracy is there as well. So Christie kicks his 3rd. The Bays move on to 15-15, 105. It's going to be a convincing victory over West Adelaide, who are lamenting on 9-13-67.
And we're at the 23.5-minute mark of the final quarter. Only a couple of minutes to go to end the misery for West Adelaide, but I suppose at this stage of the year, it's not really a misery, Cage.
Well, it's amazing, Brian, because a lot of people said that the Bays would struggle. And what we've seen tonight, there's some promising juniors that are going to play a lot of league football for the Bays in years to come.
I suppose there are some good signs there for West Adelaide in some respects, but it's been all the Bays tonight. Back out of the centre they go. Bilkey now gets the kick away towards centre half, but with the Bays pretty resolute in defence. Comes out towards Mansell. Onto the left boot he goes. Towards centre wing. In there over the top of the ball, working hard. Thompson. Pack of players. Eventually to McKinnon, been one of the better players for West Adelaide as he goes forward now. On the lead, the big fellows, thumped away, comes to ground, picked up by Ravisi, the handball across, clever play. This gives the chance for Harbinson. At goal he goes and puts it straight through the centre. So West Adelaide's 10th goal on the board, Merv Harbinson. West Adelaide go to 10-13, trailing Glenelg, who are 15-15.
Yes, Merv Harbinson read it well on that occasion, but Ravisi did the hard work, got the handball out, as we see here. Almost got a high tackle, but saw the player there, Harbinson, and that goal belonged to young Ravisi. Did the hard work, and he pint-sized, but threw the ball out to Harbinson. So West Adelaide, to their credit, they aren't throwing in the towel, they're persisting. 10-13, the Bays 15-15 on Nine's wide world of sports. You see the time clock, 25 minutes, almost 25.5 minutes gone in this final term. Out wide it goes, Ravisi. West. Had a good game today for the Bays, and there's the siren to end this final game here tonight at Football Park with Glenelg 15-15, 105. West Adelaide 10-13, 73, and of course, after the footy, Graham Kennedy's Coast to Coast.
And there, of course, the final score. Glenelg playing West Adelaide. The Bays too good, 15-15 to West Adelaide 10-13, a margin of 32 points.
And the main goal scorers for the Bloods, James with 3. He's got an ability to kick goals. McKinnon kicked 2 in the last quarter. And then for the Tigers, Bow, who kicked those first 2 goals in the first quarter. Simons 3, Melican 2, and Christie 2 as well.
And Kim, a very good performance by the Bays, and they've proved tonight, or they've shown tonight, that they'll be about the place in 89.
I think for sure, Ken. They've got a good crop of young players there, and they've got a good blend of experience as well. So they're certainly going to be around the mark. West Adelaide, a bit of work to do up forward, but 5-2, it's not a lot at this time of the year.
Only early days. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our telecast of the big one between Glenelg and West Adelaide. And, of course, we look forward to your company again next Friday night at 8:30 live here on Nine's Wide World of Sports with some wonderful football action. Bye, everyone.